Good evening, folks. This is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show with the man from Mars, myself, CmdrAleon, the man from Mars, here on Mission Earth. Welcome, everybody on Earth, to Encounters. If you're new here, I am absolutely from Mars, here on Earth. I'm the host of WESU-FM's Pacifica radio show for 20 years, Ashtar Command Radio. I'm with the Ashtar Galactic Command. I'm also a conduit for the Christ, Cosmic Christ. I do healings. And I'm just so much more. I'm just a big cosmic book. I don't need a book. I am the cosmic book. Gail, welcome to the show. And if you're here for the first time, you're talking from and you're talking with the man from Mars in Earth, on Earth, enjoying the journey. Hello, everybody out there around the world. Liz, everyone coming to Anchor. Vistal, good to see you. Everyone. Oh, my moderators. Everybody around the world who's coming here. This is the #1 UFO talk show. Consistently been consistent since we started it. You know, no government agency can stop us. Nothing can stop what we're doing here. This show is well protected on many levels. This show is well protected on many levels because we're bringing forth cosmic truth and wisdom and understanding. And we're doing something that's going to be very important coming up November 12th on planet Earth. Something very important is going to be happening. And it's happening from the center right here. Okay? We have another video coming out about what's happening December. What am I talking about? That's really weird. November 12th. Maybe something is going to be happening in December. I have no idea yet. But November 12th is happening. And you might have seen our first video, my co-host James produced with collaboration with Grace and myself. The next video, the next promotional video is going to blow you away. So be prepared for this to go viral. Hopefully, anyway. And we want it to go viral for one reason. Because we want to reach people. It's not about us. It's about the whole planet. We want to reach people all over the world. We want our Encounters show to reach people all over the world so that we can help those people connect. We want to connect people. I'm tired of all the arguments people have on here. Not where we are. All these people still arguing with each other, yelling at each other. You know, before I came on tonight, there was somebody talking about Palestine, and people were arguing, and they weren't like on live. This person didn't bring anybody on live. He was responding to comments. I'm saying these people need to hear about us. They need to connect with us. All of them, including the host, and all these people that feel angry. They need to connect with us to get some levity and some peace. And that's what November 12th is about. Good to see everybody here. We're going to get in tonight and get refocused on what we do best. And what we love to do is interview people that have had UFO sightings. If you had any sightings and you have over 200 plus followers, you can come on live. If you have over 1,000 followers, you can come on. I'd like to get people, to come on the screen, meaning turn your camera on if you're going to come on. That really does make a difference. So plan, if you do want to come on and you have 1,000 plus followers, please make sure you've got the understanding of the TikTok camera and how to turn it on too. So hello everybody out there around the world. And Cat Mama and myself cannot wait. And as you always know, the beauty about this show is I like to keep it spontaneous, keep it moving. When we have guests, like to get, we don't mind having people on who've been on before with new information, but we love to have new people that have never been on, and that's really the beauty of what we do. Hurry Up Tree. Okay, Hurry Up Tree's out there. Haven't seen Hurry Up Tree for a while. On with us. It's been a while. Hey, good evening, Hurry Up Tree. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Commander? How are you doing?
We're doing good. We just got on here earlier than usual, but that's just a good thing on a Friday night. So, what's happening cosmically in your world?
I just happened to run into you, but I actually think I did have a UFO sighting, but it just looked like a star, but it was a star in
Hmm.
the sky that um so I have a chair outside on my back porch. It's in the same spot all of the time. I never move it, and
Yeah.
I always sit in that chair, and there was a star that was brighter than normal, and it was kind of glistening, and it
Hmm.
was just between these two trees sticking up over my fence. And
Hmm.
then it was there for a little bit, and then I looked up again a little bit later, and I noticed that it was like way higher up, like it was kind of above the trees, probably
Hmm.
like 10 minutes later when I looked at it. And
Mm.
I stared at it to see if I could watch it move, because I wanted to see it move so badly, to be
Right,
honest. Because
right.
like I really have been looking to like see something like that, to be honest, for a long time. But I never got to see it move with my eyes. Like I never got to watch it move,
Mm.
which is disappointing. But I looked at the sky again tonight, and it's not there. Like there's not a star
See that?
there.
That's the key thing. If you're looking at the same time of night, that's a good way of deducting whether it's a star or something. So the same time you're sitting there looking at the same area of the sky. The object that was there the other night, it was not there at all.
Yeah, it's not there.
Yeah. So I'm going to confirm for you if you're not sure. Yeah, you did have a sighting. And I bet you if the thing was close enough, it was quite big. What I'm getting is what you saw was quite bright, right?
It was a pretty bright light, and actually, I think when I stared at it,
Oh,
I I started to see like images almost, but like not really anything I can make out. But like
yeah.
I was really staring at it, trying to see if it would move.
Yeah. Well, the fact is, tonight you looked at the same area of space, which is smart. You don't want to just jump and say, oh, yeah, I saw a spaceship. But you looked at the same area of space, the object wasn't there anymore. So obviously, if it was a star, it would still be there at the same time the next night. So obviously, it was something other than a star or anything like that. Very interesting. So that's great. You had your first sighting.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
the satellites don't just stay in one place and then eventually move higher. Satellites in our C5 group, we have night vision equipment. And even without night vision equipment, we can tell people in our group what a satellite is. Satellites move in one direction. They might crisscross each other in the sky. And that's the way satellites work. This thing, what he expressed was not a satellite, based on what he told me. A satellite would not just sit there and then move up higher the next night, it would not be there at all. But satellites move in a very slow, direction, and they're always going to be moving. Like when we go up to the apple orchard here in Connecticut and do our sky watches, our C5s, we can teach people what satellites are. They come through, and they'll be like a half hour later, you see two satellites crisscrossing each other. So yeah, no, I think what he saw wasn't a satellite.
Uh,
So that was probably your first sighting.
yeah, and the other thing about it too is that it was just like I don't. It wasn't necessarily brighter, but it was just kind of like a bigger circle.
Yeah,
It was it
yeah.
was it was kind of like a circle that was there at a light, and it was bigger than everything else.
Well, if you had special goggles or whatever to look into the space, they make them. You could have zoomed in on it a little bit better, and you could have gotten more of a detail of it.
My friend has a telescope, but uh, I
We,
wasn't able to get a hold of him.
yeah, what you need to do is get some night vision equipment. It costs maybe under $3,000, but you get third generation goggles, and if you get a good deal on them, that'd be great. You can use that, and then you can see things that are hovered, like that are cloaked. You'll actually see spaceships that are cloaked with night vision that you can't see with the human eye.
Oh, really? That's
Oh
what they
yeah.
do? They cloak
Oh
themselves in
yeah, some
nitrogen?
many of the ships can cloak themselves or decloak. The other thing is you need to download Dr. Stephen Greer's C5 app, and when you download that, you know, take your time. There's a networking area where you can connect with people in your area of your state, and they're on the C5 app. So if you have an Android phone, it's like $10 one time fee. You download it, you have it on your phone, and learn about it. Read the instructions. There's all kinds of stuff that'll help you to facilitate peaceful contact, and you'll actually have probably more sightings than you ever thought you'd have with potentially positive ETs. Yeah.
Really? What's the so I understand your ability or your like how you naturally just like attract what you are in the state of, but like what is like the extent of like bad ETs or like
Well, when you
negative
do when you're doing a C5
experiences?
event, when you do C5s, you don't have any negative experiences because you have to train yourself on just saying, I am only interested in contacting Christed beings of light. That's what we always say. When we do our thing, we use Stephen Greer's app and let him speak on the recording. And then we also introduce our Ashtar Command C5 protocol. And Chesno is on here as a guest and also one of the moderators. He'll tell you, about what we've done. And so, Chesno, welcome. Hey, Vincent. Good to see you, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I figured I'd
Yeah,
never.
first time.
Yeah, my first time on here. I know. I met you twice at the C5, both times. Totally awesome.
Hey,
Especially the last
can,
time. We had a
can
lot
you
of
turn your
action.
camera on? Are
Oh
you,
yeah.
are
How do
you,
I do that? Oh wait, hang
okay,
on.
if you, yeah, I know. Just, look at Vincent's camera going here. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. We have Vincent, who's in Connecticut with us. He's a friend of mine. He's also with our Ashtar group. We have about 15, 20 people when we all get together, but we've had some, pretty crazy weather with rain. So, but we're going to get him on live. If you have any questions, Vincent, how to turn the camera on, let me know.
Yeah, I do. I pressed save. It's not going
Okay.
on.
Let me see here. I'm
You
going
can
to
only
try to.
connect. It says you can only connect to audio.
Oh, that's not right. You have, how many, you have over 1,000, don't you?
We got like
No, you have
35
plenty.
here.
Yeah, you can connect. What you have to do, you see the little icon where it says a camera. There's a little.
Oh
You have a
yeah. Yeah.
press that. You got to press that. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Oh, cool.
All right, man, we got you live. This is my friend Chesno. He's with our Ashtar Command Group, and he's also part of our ground crew. He's a moderator for us, and he does a great job. And I know you have a story to tell, but let's. Can you explain to him about what we do on C5? That would
Yeah.
be kind of interesting.
Yeah, so we meet up. Usually there's like 15 or 20 of us the times that we went. And basically we just we have somebody that brings a giant speaker and we download the CE5 app from Dr. Stephen Greer, which is extremely beneficial. It really works. We play that, we meditate for like 40, 45 minutes. You kind of when you're meditating, you're kind of speaking to them like telepathically. You're trying to make a connection to get them to come. And if we do it all together and we utilize like all of our energy to make them appear, usually you have pretty good results. So the last time we went, we had night vision, we had everything, and we saw. I saw like three different UFOs, and everyone else pretty much had an experience too. And they weren't satellites. There were things we had like to detect satellites and planes. It wasn't anything like that. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm actually here. I stood away from the camera here, folks, for a minute. I actually realized I had to put something in here on the phone to, get it back up to where it needs to be. So we're here. We just had a little technical minor thing we had to do, but we're good now.
No worries.
So yeah, so what Vincent's saying, go ahead.
I also had two UFO experiences back, one in '07 and one back in 2015. I meant to share that with you at the C5, but I was like, you know what? I'll save it for a night and on encounters. So I'll reveal
Yeah.
the story tonight.
Yeah. It's like, and tell us what happened, with your, when you had the encounter, the sighting.
So I'm originally from Derby, Connecticut. Do you know where that is? Like Derby, Shelton, like in the valley.
Yeah, yeah. I used to live north of the valley near Oxford.
Oh yeah, I know that area. So I was right on like by like the Derby High School area. I was driving to a friend's house. It was about sunset, and all of a sudden I see about 10 to 12 orange orbs. They look like flying basketballs. Like if you're playing like
Yeah,
Mario Brothers, like on Super, like Nintendo, like the Bowser fireballs that travel that
yeah,
just like
yeah,
go, and they're so quiet. And I'm like, are these like those candle things that, that you see? It definitely wasn't. And there's people driving by, and I'm pulled over, and I have my phone out. I'm recording this. Now, this is an '07. I have a terrible phone. This is
yeah,
barely can see a dot on it.
yeah,
And I get out of the car, and this other guy's standing there, and we're both looking at it. I'm like, dude, I'm like, do you see this? And he's like, yeah. And nobody else cared. I'm like, guys, this is like history right now. Like, this is definitely like
yeah,
some UFO type stuff. And I've been into UFOs my entire life. And
yeah,
so I was like, this is my chance to like have an encounter. So I followed them. They were going up this hill in the back of the high school. It was like a Pop Warner field, like a football practice field. There was
yeah.
nobody up. The sun's going down. So stupid
Wow.
me. I'm following this all alone, not completely unaware how like vulnerable like I really am. So they were
Yeah.
coming in pairs, about two at a time. They were about a telephone pole length above me. It's about 20 feet, I'd say.
Wow.
There were groups of two, and I can tell they were intelligently moving. They were so
Hmm.
synchronized the way they were moving, no
Yeah.
sound. And I'm recording it. And now, as part of the sky was like purplish, like dark, and the other part was like orangey because it's sunset. So as soon as
Yeah.
they hit that line in the sky where it's getting dark, they turn off their lights because they see me, I see them. We're the only ones. We were like a second away from getting a beer together. Like we were that close, you know?
Wow. That close. Oh my
It
God,
was
man.
intense. So I realize how vulnerable I am. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, they can take me right now. Like, and I got like goosebumps thinking about this. So I get in my
Yeah.
car, I book it. I'm like, I got it on video. And of course, it's like terrible video
Yeah.
quality. It's been '07. Um, and then in 2015, I was bartending at a restaurant. I went out for like a smoke break real quick. And again, it's at nighttime. And I'm looking at the stars, like, and my eyes are adjusted, and I see this huge black triangle, enormous. I'm talking like a football field. This was probably
Yeah.
it was close to Sikorsky's. You know where Sikorsky's is in Stratford,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Sikorsky. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Probably about a mile or two from there. And I was thinking, can this be like military? Can this be like our people? And again, it was silent, no
Right.
sound at all. And this was probably about 500 feet above my head, if I had to estimate. And then I
Wow.
only saw it for about 4 or 5 seconds, and it just faded in the darkness. And I was like, wow, two UFO encounters in a lifetime. I'm like, I felt
Wow.
honored. You know?
And
And
that now when you were on the field, when that other thing happened, what got me is you booked out of there, but the UFOs or the spaceships turned their lights off, correct?
they did, correct. It was like it
Did
was at
what?
that moment when I realized I was vulnerable, and it's like they shut their lights off, like as I thought that, and that made me think of like negative, like they're like, oh, let's maybe like mess with this guy, and this is all going through my head. I'm like, oh my god, I better get out of here. I have like nobody here to like help me if something goes
Right.
down. So I was a little concerned. So then I just booked it out of there. But
Mhm. Do you
yeah,
think that your like that emotional fear of what potentially could happen? Not to discard it, but do you think that they were just, and the other part of it could be that they wanted to make contact with you? Did you feel that afterwards?
I did think about that as I was driving. I was like, I wonder if they were trying to communicate with me because I always try to like dissect the situation, something like that. And I couldn't get a good read on it. I really couldn't. I feel like if they wanted to, they could have like got down a little lower to like my eye level. But I think they just flashed, turned off their lights to let me know, like we see you. you know.
Yeah. They were basically intelligent and they were communicating with you. That's what I'm getting as I
100%.
listen to the story. So I
Absolutely.
don't think
Definitely
they
intelligent.
were. I don't get any sinister feelings about them. You know how I do. I read people's stories and then I read the energy. So
Hmm.
I'm going to give you, as a friend, some information, even though it's all the way back. This is what I do. I've just started doing this a few months ago, and I don't know why it happens, but I'm able to do it. So it
Yeah.
can help people. So with you, Vincent, when they turned the lights off, they were humanoid. They were humanoid like us. They weren't like looking like weird looking whatever.
Mhm.
They were testing to see if you were ready in that field to make contact with them. They picked an area where there was nobody. You said there was nobody up there, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. That's why they went up there. They wanted to make contact with you, but you were obviously it's a human expression, emotion, and you did what you felt was right. You have to do what's right for you. But
Hmm.
they were not there to do anything other than introduce themselves to you. They would have done that. They could actually have appeared in the field without getting off. They could have gotten off their spaceship or their vibrational energy of their craft that you were seeing in that color. They were able to just in a blink of an eye be right in the field with you. If you had so chosen without fear, I know you were hyped up and you're alone, so hey, this is happening. I don't know what to do. I'm getting out of here, right? But
Yeah.
on another level, they were really looking to interact with you on a physical level. You just weren't ready yet at that point.
You're right. And a part of me kind of wishes I stayed just to see like what could have happened. But I don't know. That's playing with fire. You know, you never know what you're gonna
Hmm.
get. You know.
Right.
And I was young. I was probably like 22 at the time, 23. So it was
Mhm.
my first experience. It was
Yeah.
definitely frightening for to say the least. You know.
And it's a first experience. So, of course, you don't know how to react. Your first time seeing this happen, they're going up the hill. You're following them because they want you to follow them. You see,
Yeah.
they were hoping. They didn't know how yeah, they understand human emotions and they knew it was your first thing happening. You can connect, and this is going to be weird, not really weird. If you remember what they looked like, you remember the whole story, don't you?
I do.
Do you realize that I've told this to people before and they've done it and it works? You can reconnect with them again. These humanoid beings, you can connect in your dream state, in your meditation state. It doesn't matter what year it happened. You can say, I wish to connect with you in the Christed state of light. Are you Christed beings of light? You can ask them questions before you initiate any kind of physical contact. That's always the important thing. Even when we do C5, you know how we do it. We do the Christed levels of meditation in our protocol. So if you do that and you practice a few nights or whenever, wherever you are, find a space to be and meditate and say, I'm sorry that I got all freaked out over this. I am much more mature now. I know you were trying to contact me and communicate with me intelligently. I'm ready to do that. And you can do that in a telepathic communications with them. And I would test this out and see if they communicate with you first and find a space and a level that feels comfortable for them and for you.
That's a great idea. I've never actually thought about that. I mean, I meditate every day, sometimes like twice a day, and that's a great idea. I think I might try that.
Yeah, definitely. That's your cosmic homework in a good way. You know,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it's a great play. That story is so beautiful.
yeah.
I'm glad this is the perfect place, man, to share it, with all the people on
I
here.
knew it was. Yeah, if I was going to share it, it was going to be on encounters for everybody. You know.
Yeah. And the show's recorded. So if anybody misses his story, tomorrow morning we'll have this show on TikTok. I just loaded last night's show up earlier on TikTok, and my morning broadcast this morning I haven't loaded up yet. That'll be next, and then we're going to load this up next. So all our shows are recorded. If you missed a show from any one of our nights on Encounters, watch the whole shows of each show, and you'll see a full show of everybody we've interviewed since we've been doing recording all the shows and sharing them on YouTube.
I gotta say, Commander, I'm in all the U. Anybody in this live will recognize me. I'm in all the UFO chat rooms and the lives. And I gotta say, this is by far the best UFO talk show to have disclosure. It's there's no battle here, there's no competition, there's no ego. Everyone can be themselves in a safe place, and I really value that here. So I just wanted you to know that.
And I value you too, man. We love you, brother, because that's what we do. That's really my mission here, coming to Earth. I don't understand why people have to yell over each other about any subject. And because I'm on radio for 20 years, and doing that and interviewing people, to interview somebody to have a conversation, one must learn the art of listening. And that's something I can do. Now, sometimes I'll break in if they're talking because I want to catch something they said. You've seen me do it, but not to
Yeah.
talk over. I always want to say, oh, you just said this. Let's go back to that little comment, because I find things in their story that they're telling that they don't realize that is really significant in what they had an encounter with that humanoid or with that light being. There's something there. I got to ask them a question before they forget, And the same thing with you.
And it's interesting too, when you said that you think they might have been human, and then you've heard those stories like David Grush would say, like he would go in a UFO like 50 feet and it turns into like a football field size. And they were basketball sized. So that makes me think, well, if maybe you just stick your hand in there or your head and you're like in a giant
you
UFO.
just dip in there and the thing is huge.
Like, how are they controlling? How are they driving fireballs? Like who's piloting this? So,
and that's interesting you say that, because when we think about, these small spaceships, we think, oh, there's nobody in there. They're small. Well, they could be unmanned spaceships from a larger spaceship too. But the same token, that could be very true that they came from a larger vessel.
I got the vibe that they were piloted by an outside consciousness, like a drone, but piloted by a consciousness, if that makes sense.
Well, I'm also getting that they probably came from a ship that was really big outside of our higher atmosphere. You
Definitely.
didn't see that, but they came. And I think as I'm listening to your story, they were monitoring something. They were there for some other reason, but they also were there and they were being seen. I think that there were intelligences in the craft, and they were the size of, how big were they?
Like the size of basketballs.
Yeah, so they probably
They were on fire, like flaming basketballs. It was insane.
Yeah. So they probably came from a higher Vincent, a larger ship. Now that we're talking more and more about it, I get more images of a larger vessel that was cloaked, and they would eventually go back to the vessel, and they were seeking information, or they were gathering something, but also they were interested in you.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I don't think the intelligence were in the basketball size craft. I think the intelligence were in the larger ship. And I think they were testing your abilities.
From the mothership, yeah.
The mothership. And they were testing your emotional abilities, how you would react to that. And you did. You reacted the way you would from your first sighting. You had that emotional feeling. And I think that if you meditate, you'll be able to communicate with the humanoids who were running that ship that sent these orbs out from the ship.
Yeah.
You'll definitely be able to do it.
I'm going to try that later on tonight, and I'll definitely get back to you and let you know if I had any contact.
And, there's no rush. I mean, if it doesn't happen the first time, don't feel like, oh, wow, it didn't happen. It takes time to facilitate trust between the beings on the ship and yourself. They want to make sure that you feel okay regarding if they do come in physical contact with you, that you're going to be feeling okay, because that's so important, that there is this synergy of energy where both parties are not like, oh, no, I don't know if I want to meet this person because we're from another planet. I don't know how he's going to react. But I think that you have the potential to do that. I think now you're much calmer. We're talking it out here on the show, which is really good. So I think you're going to have something great is going to happen with that.
And getting to that, I got to say, because I don't really tell my UFO stories to people, because they still, even today, will look at you. Not so much today, but back then I couldn't tell people about that without looking like a nut job, So it feels good that I can actually, share my story with you guys and not get like ridiculed and be like, oh, like, we're all in a safe space, and that's really cool.
Yeah, and and being a moderator, which you are, and and Skip to Grace and a few other people around the world here. I have the best moderators ever, because when I first started this, we did have trolls come in here. I said, well, that's not going to happen. And then people that wanted to troll found out that the commander doesn't allow trolls in here. Some
Yeah.
places, some TikTokers don't care about the trolls. Yeah, I don't ignore them. I get rid of them, so I take all the negative energy, people that want to come in here with the religious garbage.
Yeah, that's just not doing us any favor. It's just, they
No.
got to go, the trolls.
And my show never has problems, because my moderators, will look at what the person says, whether it needs to be muted or whatever. And they do, people like Vincent do a great job on here. And we're glad he comes back here and thinks we've met each other, we know each other. And I'm glad he feels the way he does about this. And I want to always keep this show at the highest levels of light in my broadcast abilities. So, yeah, if you want to stick around, you can here, or you want to moderate, whatever you want to do.
Hey, James, how you doing, buddy?
Bro,
He's coming from the rabbit hole.
why haven't you come on live before? You're such a damn hunk. We need you online so the ladies will start liking more.
I was waiting to share my story for the appropriate time, and I felt tonight was the right night.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we're honored. Totally honored.
I'm honored to
And
share
James,
it.
are you able to come on to, instead of seeing the little rabbit thing, are you dressed and able to come on as the co-host?
I just got out of the haunted house. I am dripping sweat,
Oh, forget that.
and I'm about to drive home. And it's
You're driving home. Okay.
it's about a 45-minute drive.
Oh, you got to drive to go, man.
I'm gonna be listening tonight.
Good.
I was in your live, James. It was pretty hardcore in there with the nurse.
Yeah. I kept on taking my mask off because tonight was opening night, so it's slow. But like Saturday night and next week, you're gonna see people falling out of their chairs.
I bet. At first, I was like, dude, is this your house? Like, is this like decorations? I was confused, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now.
All of those decorations you see in that house on Halloween, they will be at my house outside. We put a haunted house up outside for the kids too.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
and that
awesome.
house that you back, the other house, he really lives here. That house is haunted. And when he's not doing that, he goes there for the weekend to hang out. It is haunted, right?
Yes, this is the May Stringer house. It's the most haunted house in Florida.
Oh.
I'm going to try to walk up next to it here.
If some sort of
Victorian house.
If some sort of being shows up there in the screen, I'll be freaking out. Let's look at the window.
There's
James,
the house right there.
Normal encounters, like real ghost encounters before? Because Florida's pretty haunted. I think St. Augustine's the most haunted place in America, right?
Yeah, that is.
Right. Oh, listen, my first paranormal experience, I'm going to turn my camera around.
I just see it now. He's live and somebody's standing next to him.
My first paranormal experience was in St. Augustine. I'm going to share it with you guys before I get off. So we were doing a ghost tour. We were in the old Spanish apothecary. Now, this room was built in the 1600s. There's no air conditioning vents. They kept everything original. So we're standing in this room, and there's this big door behind me, and I'm like, I hear voices talking, and I could hear like furniture moving around in the room. And I told the tour guide, I'm like, hey, is this the way out? He's like, no, that's a one-way door. There's nobody in that other room. I said, dude, there's somebody in this room. So he opens the door, and we look into the room. There's nobody in the room, and there's no door out of that room. It was like a storage area. So that was my first freak out. Then I'm in the apothecary where this guy, he was hanged inside the apothecary. They still have the noose and the rope hanging from it. All of a sudden, the noose started swaying back and forth. Now, this was in the middle of September. It was hot as hell in Florida, and all of a sudden the room dropped. Now, I was with a paranormal group, and they have those things where you could point and it'll give you like a temperature reading. So
Yeah.
the room was about 98 degrees inside, and and next to me there was this entity, like this cold air, and they shot
Yeah.
the gun at it, and it was like 42 degrees. And I put my hand in it, you could feel it. All of a sudden, something grabbed my arm. Now when like you put your hand in like a cooler full of ice, and it's got
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
slush and water in it.
Yeah.
It felt like a cold, wet hand um, grabbing my arm. So
That's
Yeah.
wild.
that was my first like real thing. So then we walk to the fort, and they give you a tour. So in around the fort is a moat. So and the moat is about 20 feet deep. So I was recording the guy do his little speech, and we went home and we watched the video of the guy doing the speech, and you could see two people walking behind him with lanterns. And my wife said, "Oh, those are just people walking around." I said, "Honey, the guy was standing in front of the moat. If those guys were walking behind him, they would have to be 20 feet tall." And she was like, "Oh my God, you're right." And yeah, and the last thing that happened in St. Augustine, as we were walking from the apothecary to the fort, the guy was
Hmm.
telling us, "Oh, people see a girl, a ghost around here. Sometimes she runs out into traffic." So as we're walking back from that, all of a sudden this BMW and a Mustang, boom, head on collision. The guy in the Mustang, he had a drop top. He hops out. He was like, "Is everybody okay? Did I hit that girl? Did I hit that girl?" And me and my wife looked at each other because we saw the whole thing happen. There was no girl. This guy saw a little girl run across the street and swerved not to hit her and hit somebody else. But the girl was a ghost. She wasn't there.
Wow.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. That's
Yeah.
really crazy, man. You know?
So yeah, St.
Wow.
Augustine definitely. If you want to get some paranormal activity, to go there, and you can come to this house too. This place, they do ghost tours every night from midnight to 4 a.m. And
And you
woo,
can sleep there in one of the rooms and see if you have any experiences, right?
hell no, 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 no,
You know,
no, no, no,
I
no,
know you're not doing that.
not me, not me.
Not my co-host. He's not doing that. He's going home.
Yeah,
45 minutes. He's going home.
I'm gonna head home, and I'll be in listening mode.
Yeah, and just let people know on another note, we're gonna have a new promotional video coming out very
Yes, it'll
soon.
be out this
That's
weekend.
It'll be out this weekend. So when it comes out, man, we're gonna be FYPing it all over TikTok land, and we want
I got a video. You're gonna love this one, Commander. I got a video straight from the Ashtar command,
Oh, you
and
did.
you are going to love it.
I can't wait. And I'm going to be as surprised as everybody here. And then when the video's out, I want everybody to FYP it to everybody on TikTok. When this video comes out, I am encouraging you for November 12th, before November 12th, this video to get it all over the place. I know you'll do it. Everybody can do it. So I have no idea what it's going to look like, but we collaborated, James and I, the other day on the phone. He knows what we want to do, and it's going to be, this video is just going to be even bigger than the last video. So just wait to see it. I'm telling you, it's going to definitely blow your mind without a question. And when we do the thing November 12th, it's not an encounters broadcast. We're doing it towards the Middle East energy of what's going on over there. This is separate from that. This is going to be an Ashtar Command worldwide broadcast to bring world peace to the Middle East from a cosmic energy, because the Earth-based people aren't doing it. They're fighting each other. They're arguing each other. And the politicians on Earth aren't doing anything except saying, we'll supply you with more weapons to blow up another person. So we're going to bring everyone together in a unity of light. That's going to be the most powerful energy we're going to beam. I've been getting messages from Kedar Manka, a little bit from Ashtar. He tells me, Kedar Manka says, when you do this, collectively put your consciousness and your light energy towards that part of the world, and it's going to affect everybody's bodies. So he says it will affect their bodies. And by doing so, they're not going to know what happened. Even the people that are angry are going to be affected by it. And on both sides, people that are angry are going to be affected by it. It's going to be an energy that will calm people down. And also, and again, I'm not sure yet about this, but we might just send 10 Ashtar Command spaceships over that area. Now, anyone who's watched me before, when our friend from Vermont had the reptilians in his cavern in the woods. I used to go to college in Vermont, in Plainfield. I know that area well. It's a farming community. It's a small town. It's a beautiful place, 10 miles out of Montpelier. We sent 2 ships or whatever it was. I sent Ashtar personnel off the ship into the cavern, and we peacefully got the reptilians to leave the Earth and leave that area in the woods. So Johnny remembers it. So
Now, you
when I did that,
telepathically did do that?
telepathically, yes, I did that. Yes. So I have the ability that I see. These are things that me in the human form don't even understand sometimes. How do I have the ability to do that? So I've had to come to peace with the term of not just being a human being, but that I can actually send Ashtar command ships anywhere in the world.
You're like a
And
copy.
I don't channel or anything. I don't, I am still in a process of understanding all these things that are like becoming activated. You know how we talk about the cellular structure of the body being activated, our DNA being activated? Well, I'm fully activated. The only thing I've not done yet is beam myself onto an Ashtar command ship. I mean, I go on the ships, but I don't remember. And that's probably done on purpose, so I wouldn't want to, if I did remember, I probably wouldn't want to come back here to keep doing mission work. But they know that I accept that I'm not going to see everything on the ships. I'm here to do the mission work. So what we're going to do, and this is a little pre-promo, is I didn't even know this is going to happen. Because then I say to myself, is it possible that I'm going to be able to send a couple of spaceships over the Middle East? And then I leave it up to the Ashtar command personnel on those ships. There's thousands of personnel on each ship to see what they're going to do. All I'm going to do is send the ships over there. So on November 12th, we're going to do a meditation. I'm going to be sending, I'm not sure yet how many ships over there from outer space that are with the galactic forces of light. And
The whole flock.
again,
Send them there. We're going to need
I
it.
just, again, I can't predict things here. I don't want to. They keep telling me, Commander, you have the ability to ask us and we will go there. That's what they tell me. So I have to believe in that. I have to understand that. I have to come to my own inner peace that I have now a greater responsibility to the planet. I'm not the only person. We all have a responsibility. I'm just a conduit to make those things happen. So, yeah, it's going
Absolutely.
to happen,
And
you know?
that's a really cool gift. I mean, you were obviously selected for a reason because they know you have Christ consciousness. Like it was something you have that appeals to them, you know. So
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
And also I do, like I said, no government agency, no intelligence community, no energy that wishes to stop what we're doing and what I'm doing can stop it. I'm very, very well protected. I say that sometimes. I am. I'm divinely protected, as many of you are.
Hmm.
You just have to realize you're protected and say, yes, I am a divine being of light. I am protected. If you believe it, if you breathe it, if you know it, you are. They can't
Hmm.
touch us. They can't touch me. I'm going to bring Skip to Grace on here. She's in the house. We need to give her. She's got 894 followers. Let's get her up to 1,000, folks. We got her up there this morning to a certain point. Let me see where she is now.
Team Connecticut here.
Grace, you know Grace, Vincent. So,
Hey,
Yeah. Hey, Grace.
hey, it's so good to see you up here with us.
Yeah.
Yay!
I was like, you know what? I'm going to share my stories tonight. Why not? I'm always sitting back and just like, just moderating and, just listening. But I was like, I'm going to share it tonight. Why not?
mm,
I'm so glad you're here and you shared. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Now Grace has 894 I want everybody. We have 79 people on here. If you're not following Grace, I know we can get her up to 1,000 tonight. She has 897. Let's get her up over 900. And I want to see where the TikTok technology allows her to come on live. So she's 897. We have 78 people here. If you're not following Skip to Grace, please follow her right now. I want to get her on the screen. And it's all a matter of everybody here making it happen. You know, I'm all about community and about people coming together galactically and cosmically and so forth.
Thank you so much. Actually, this morning I got an immense boost. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, I'm going to be like, my face is going to be on the screen soon.
Yeah, you're at 900 right now, so let's get her up to 1,000.
It's
Please
unbelievable.
invite people. We're going to invite some people on here right now. I'm going on my invite list here, so we're going to go and
so Ches, I
randomly.
You know what? I wanted to tell you also the power of meditation.
Yeah.
I got an idea for an invention, and now I currently have a patent that's pending right now. I invented a heated tarp for your driveways. It's I just started pending about a month ago, and it takes 12 to 16 months to pend. I work with a company, ownmyinvention.com, out in Miami. And I pitched them the idea, and I got this idea through meditating, okay? And I was working like this desk job, and I was like, well, I should use that like right now on my lunch break. And I did it. They got back to me in like 30 minutes, you know, and they get 200,000 ideas per year, and they only take about 5 people, you know? Yeah, it's like winning the lottery, basically. And so I had to come up with the money. I had to find an investor. I was struggling. It took me like 9 months to find an investor. I had to come up with like almost 12 grand. And but I wasn't that far behind. So I was like, you know what? I was like, you know, I told my agent that I work with, just give me like 2 more months and I'll come up with that. And she believed in me. She's like, I totally trust like you're gonna like make this happen. She knows like since like I've gotten this far, like I'm not gonna stop, and I refuse to.
Right.
No, this is a big win for the North, and this will be coming to stores probably by 2026, maybe 2025. It depends on how long it takes to pend, but it's currently processing right now as we speak.
Wow, very good.
Power of meditation, guys. So just a word to the wise.
Oh my God, I know I would buy it.
It's gonna. We think my agent also. They go to trade shows in Las Vegas every 3 months, and I'm invited to go as well. And they sell to places like the NFL, MLB, anything, anybody can use it. So they think that they might be able to pitch this to stadiums like Green Bay or Buffalo that get snow. And I can sell. They have to go through me if they want heated tarps because I'm about to own the patent for it. So not only do I get the driveway sales, it's also I can make a really big deal like to the NFL with this, like in the northern stadiums or even Division III stadium or Division I stadiums, you know. So this has the opportunity, and I totally believe in it, and the universe has my back, and I have zero doubt this is going to be a huge success.
Fabulous.
It definitely will.
When you talked about that for a second, I was just thinking about airports.
Yes. Because right now, I just wrote the blueprints and everything just for driveways that are 10 by 10 up to 30 by 30 up for 3-car garage. And I'm going to eventually start making them for commercial lots. So businesses, shopping centers, I mean, they're going to be huge, but for right now, I'm going to stick to driveways because they do all the engineering, the manufacturing, they do everything. All my work is done on my end. I drew like 20 blueprints. They connect into each other in case you have a really long driveway. I made it as convenient as possible for the consumer. It takes 3 minutes to roll out on your driveway. And it has a little crank when you're done. They have a valve on each end with a 15-foot hose so that when the water melts on contact, the snow, it turns into water, and then it goes through this valve at each tip, depending on the pitch or the slope of the driveway, and it goes through all the excess water will go through the hose, and you can drain it in a sewer. And this is the kicker: it's a 3-in-1 because you can use it on a flat surface of a rooftop for a weak structured rooftop and as a car cover. So it's kind of a 3-in-1. This is huge.
Amazing.
Wow.
And I was
Very
rock
good.
bottom for a
Yeah.
minute, for a long time in my life, like very low vibrational creature for like 2 years of my life after my divorce. And I just went through a depression. I went through a lot, and I started like meditating and, tried like natural stuff. And just goes to show you how far meditation and how when you clear your mind and you just get these thoughts out of nowhere,
Mm.
it's the sign of the
Hmm.
universe saying, dude, I got the feeling like you earned it. Like now the universe is going to take care of you. Like I truly
Yeah.
feel that in my heart. And love is the highest
Yeah.
frequency. And I just feel that love from the universe.
That's so
Mm.
inspiring.
It is
Yeah, and
inspiring. It's really
I'm
good.
currently writing a book about it as well. It's going to be called "Tired of Shoveling Life," and it's a biography about my life and how to conquer adversity. And just when you think you're at the rock bottom, I start putting in like meditation and like just basically it's just a biography about how I came up with the idea and what I went through to get to like where
Yeah.
I'm about to be. And when I eventually do get paid, there's the cool part. I'm a huge animal lover. I'm going to buy a farm and I want to open up an animal rescue shelter and
Oh
rescue
wow,
animals.
man, that's great.
I
Yeah, yeah. And that's
love
part of the
that.
deal. You got to give back. Like, it's almost that's a test in itself. Like, all right, the universe is going to reward you, but now what are you going to do with that? You got to pay it
Yeah.
forward. Always pay it forward. And I love animals, and there's nothing in my heart I would love to do more than to help
I
animals.
love
So,
that. Oh my God, I love that. That
Yeah.
is
Animals are
so
the best.
cool.
I'm hoping
Absolutely
at the
cool.
end, 'cause my story is still continuing. I got like 30 pages I wrote so far, and I'm shooting for like 120, 150. So my story is still continuing. So as this is unfolding, I am currently writing too. So
Good. There you go.
Wonderful.
it's exciting
The
times.
creative, yeah, the creative
That's
energy,
so
Vincent,
exciting.
yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You know,
thank
Oh
you.
my
it's
God,
amazing.
that's so
He talks
cool.
about the low thing after divorce and going through 2 years of that. And look where you are now, man. You know, it's funny how things like that will happen when you get to that low point, and all of a sudden something happens and a new you comes in, like your light body, the cosmic you says, "Here I am." You know, I've been in the background watching you go through all this, and now here I am, and this is that you. The you now is not the you were before. You're a
Mhm.
different you in a
Not even
human
the same
form.
I
So you're the
was
you that's
6 months
creative,
ago. To be
writing,
honest.
creating.
Yeah, I keep leveling. I feel like I just level up like every 3 months. I just
Yeah.
get a little bit more on the ground.
Yeah,
And,
That's
and
very
meditation
cool.
strength, the meditation really strengthens that. It really does. And
Yeah,
it's a big win for everybody at the end of the day when you don't have to get a plow driver in the future, or shovel it.
mhm.
12,000 people die per year from shovel related deaths. So it's
Yeah.
going
Wow.
to be saving a lot of lives as well.
Oh,
Well,
good.
just the fact that it's a real testament to the power of healing too, and then the fact that you heeded to, you listened to your inner being that was guiding you, and you took the natural progression of that and just like made you carved out a path for yourself. I mean,
Yeah,
but
basically, yeah.
you
And
listen to your inner being, and your inner being, like divine guidance, the guidance that comes from star stuff,
mhm.
when you tapped into it. And there are so many people in the world that could learn from you. So I'm so glad you're
Yeah.
writing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, guys. You guys are really nice. And I'm really hoping that my book will inspire other people to do
Oh,
the
I think
same,
it
just to
will.
go in a positive direction. Because when you put positive into the universe, it's the law of the universe, the 12 laws. You're gonna
Yeah.
get some stuff back. And I live and die by that now. And I don't have any negative thoughts going on in my head ever. I just totally just wash all that negativity out, and I'm just trying to be a better me like every day. So I'm just hoping
That's
that
all you can do is be a better
to
you.
inspire
And
to
speaking
do
of being a better you, this is Encounters where everybody can be a better you. So we get into the spiritual UFO stuff. We're not just nuts and bolt people here. That's the difference between this show and the ones that just talk about, oh, I saw a spaceship. It landed. Oh, what kind of EBEs are there? We get into a deep, deep thing with everybody. Chesno knows that, and Grace knows that. I always want to get into people's stories because the stories are what is a part of that's their book. Their story they tell is part of their physical book. Vincent has a physical book he's sharing with you right now. It's part of his physical book. The book is not finished yet. And even when he finishes the physical book, the other book is him. He's the book. Like when I talk about we are being we're woken up. Like, I think somebody said to me once, "Oh, Commander, you're like you have a book of many chapters." That's true. That's why I don't go on websites really too much, except for when I'm looking and I have a knack for seeking out information from people. I have some of the best spaceship footage from everywhere because I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm dissecting or dissecting. And then from an inner point of view, I've been in just a cosmic book for most of my life. I just remember the one time when I had a two-way radio as a kid, one of those CB things when they were big in the 60s. And there was this young woman or teenager with a radio, people who talk on an AM rate CB. And she said, I don't know what I was doing. She says, you're moving my Moody Blues album. I said, what do you mean I'm moving your Moody Blues album? Yeah, you're moving the album. And I don't know what I was doing then. I don't know if I realized I had the ability to move things. But she said, yeah, you're moving the album. And I said, I can't be doing that. I wasn't developed enough to realize what that was. But evidently, I always remembered that story from this woman on the two-way radio a few blocks away saying, you're moving my album. I said, that can't be possible. But then again, understand, I was a kid. I didn't understand my abilities. I never thought about it much. But now I do know that if I activate some parts of me, I can do certain things that, just like when I'm here with the palm of my hand thing. When I started doing that, it only started because I helped somebody in a workshop who had sciatica, and as a conduit, I brought for the first time the Cosmic Christ through me, and the Cosmic Christ healed her. All I did is use my hand. He used my hand as a vehicle to shoot out the energy into her body. So it's when you realize you have these abilities, and you do, Vincent, too. You're the book. When you verbalize your book, you are speaking from your chapters you're writing. And
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty amazing. That's a beautiful thing,
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you are, and you have the creativity. You're creating something new that's going to be patented. That's because you're advanced in your consciousness to be able to create those things.
Hmm.
Maybe you'll create a Tesla device that's free energy even, because I know you have that energy in you.
I love Nikola Tesla. He's like one of my idols, to be honest. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, I'm not like not at that status. But yeah, no, you never know.
Well, never say never. You never
Right.
know.
Yeah.
That's true. You never know.
You never know.
And you never know. And that's a really good way of looking at it. And, there's a guy named Rabbit, another rabbit coming up. The other rabbit was going
Hey,
home. That was,
I am. I just wanted to ask real quick, Chenzo. Your name is Vincent.
Yes. It's
That's my son's
Chenzo
name.
is short for Vincenzo. All my friends call me Chenzo, like where I'm from. So that's just my nickname.
Oh,
I'm
my
yeah,
Italian.
son's
okay.
name. That's my son's
Yeah,
name.
Vincenzo's Italian for Vincent.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now,
that's so cool.
No one knew that Chesno owns Pepe's Pizza in Connecticut. No, I'm just kidding you. And he knows where Pepe's is. I know where Pepe's is. If
Yeah.
you're a Connecticut person, the battle of pizza is between Sally's, Pepe's, Modern Pizza, I think, and one other place.
Yeah. Like most New Haven. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, they have the
yeah,
best pizza there.
yeah,
New Haven. You know
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
funny?
listen.
Connecticut's
Even in
very
Florida,
underrated.
we know that Connecticut, New Haven has the best pizza in the world.
They do
Yeah.
Good
better
stuff.
than New York. I swear to God, I'm not like biased because I live here. Like I've eaten New York pizza, and I just like New Haven. I just like Connecticut pizza better. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
yeah, yeah.
A
I've
beats,
had New York pizza too.
a beats.
My beats.
A beach
Now,
again.
if you've never had an extraterrestrial pizza, you're gonna have to wait until they land their ship.
Yeah.
I wonder what that would look like.
It could be very, very enlightening.
We have to invent something.
Yeah.
We'll
When the
have to like figure
spaceships
that one
land and
out.
we meet our space brothers, we have to give gifts to our space brothers and sisters, and we have to figure out what that is. It could be anything. But when they do come, we really should think about how we're going to introduce ourselves to each other. I know that
Absolutely.
Bashar is talking about something. I'm hoping they get the full broadcast. Something about October 21st, but it was such a small little promotional thing with Bashar speaking. I wasn't quite sure what's going on. I might email their people and find out if I get more information what Bashar is talking about. Because October 21st is Saturday, and maybe that's going to be another broadcast from Bashar of the Assassani, but it had to do with contact. So I'm
Tomorrow?
very curious. Yeah. I think Bashar, if anyone looks up Daryl Anka, he's on YouTube, you can connect with them and find out what's going on, because he, again, was bringing up something about contact.
Wow. I mean,
And
I think I see bits and pieces from him, but I don't really know. I don't follow that often.
yeah, he's one of the few people that I will kind of follow, but because he's not channeling, he's bringing in an alignment with Bashar of the Assassani, and he doesn't really channel. Whereas just on Facebook, there's 10 million people channeling one being, and at that point, it's like, okay, too much. That's why I tell people, don't put all your eggs in one basket with channelers, because they're beautiful people, but they don't realize they're channeling higher self. They're not channeling. Some of them might be, but there's so many people trying to channel the same thing that it
Yeah.
comes into question.
And I think some of them mean well. I don't think they're necessarily like a ripoff. I think they're confused with their higher self and their what they're channeling. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a
The only
confusion.
channel I do is ESPN.
Well, the only channel I do is Encounters.
That one too.
The number one show on TikTok.
That's right.
I'm telling you, it's it's so good. It's so excellent to hear people's stories and their life. I love the way people come up and share.
Oh, it's great.
It's fabulous. I mean, I'm learning so much from people and their journeys and their experiences and encounters.
I mean,
Grace and I.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead, Commander.
No, I was going to just say I'm praying for the day. When I came on here my first time, I met somebody, a beautiful person who reads energy, and she's in, I think, North Dakota. She comes on in the morning, I think, and she's been on here once in a while. She'll come in, and she said, when she read my energy, she said, "Oh, you're going to go viral." So I said, "I don't know what viral means. I don't know what that definition of viral means on TikTok. What is viral?" And I just don't understand it. Is viral having, 1,000 people in the room that half of them
A
are not?
lot of visibility, a lot of action.
You got a good
And I
energy.
think we have that. I think this show has a lot of action. I've been trying to figure out why someone who's, like bouncing up and down on a big belly in a room gets 3,000 people watching that. And I don't understand that still, but
Yeah, I know.
I agree.
I don't
I'm
understand it.
telling
So
you,
maybe you need to get up and start dancing while you do the show, Commander.
have you ever seen the guy that dances in his living room? He's like 70 years old.
Dancing.
Oh yeah.
Dancing
Yeah, the
Dennis.
old guy?
And he
Yeah.
just does this like crossover with his hands, and he
Yes.
goes for hours.
Like a club in there.
He does it. He really does.
There's another guy that dresses up like an old Italian gangster. He calls himself the Godfather, and he
I've seen
dances the
him.
old 70s and 80s dance.
I've
I
seen him. I've seen him.
love the energy when I see that. I love it.
He's too funny. And Nona Pia. I love Nona Pia. Have you
Now,
ever seen her?
if I were to sing a space song here, I would like. I mean, I can just do things like that. So I'm going to do something here as we're getting ready to have more guests come on. We want to hear your UFO sighting reports. What we do is serious. What we are trying to do, and we've been doing is, I've been thinking about Shy. Before I do that, I'm sending her an invite. I don't know where she is right now, but we're going to send her an invite and see if she's awake.
James,
She
what
might
were
be.
you going to say, James, before?
I was gonna say that when you were talking about the show, you said how you're learning so much, and we're experiencing a lot, and people don't know this, but Grace and I sometimes after the shows or during the day, we will call each other and talk about the shows. And sometimes
Yep.
I might say something wrong, or so like she's my Jiminy Cricket sometimes, and
Well, I just invited Shy on, so we'll see if she's awake and she pops in here. I have a feeling she has a lot of information. She hasn't been on for a while,
Yeah, I mean, we're only human, right? I think with star, we're born with star stuff in us, and we're just only human, James,
yeah, we're
So
not perfect, that's for sure.
now, if you want to hear me sing a space song from outer
Yes.
space for a moment,
Yes.
I'll do that if I get some people to subscribe to my TikTok here. So I need to promote my TikTok. So I have 32 of 100 subscribers. Subscribing you can do on a monthly basis. I believe that's the way it works. You can do it for as many months as you choose to. So I want to get some subscribers. I will sing for you here about a space vibrational pattern of energy. If some people will also gift us with TikTok gifts. So if you do the TikTok gifts right now, I will definitely sing a galactic song of light that will vibrate through here with my voice patterns.
Oh, I
How many
love
people want
that.
to hear me do that?
While we're waiting for him to sing, I got a Ashtar Command song. It's
Oh,
and
come
knowing that
on, let's
Commander
go.
loves reggae, this one's for you. Some people say they can't believe Commander is a Martian man.
Is that the end of the song?
That's it.
I'm
That's
sure
it. That's
you
all you
have
get.
one, Chesno. Come on.
I dig it.
Thank you for
Oh, we
subscribing,
got a
Stephen. We
subscriber.
appreciate
Nice.
that. Any
There
other
you go. You got
people,
a subscriber.
please
Now we got
subscribe.
to hear the song.
Okay, so I'm getting some gifts, some songs. You got to get a few of those things to get the song going.
You
So
need
give
a
me some fuel here by
galaxy.
gifting
Well, look, I
Galaxy,
just sent a paper crane.
a
Yes.
crane down the rabbit hole is doing it. He did a crane. Who wants
Thank
to be the
you,
crane? Anybody?
guys.
Who wants to do a galaxy? I feel like what are those guys that do the auctions and they talk really fast? I can't
Coming
do
on,
that,
coming on,
but
coming on, coming on, coming on. Who's got a dollar? Who's got a galaxy?
We got
Galaxy, galaxy,
500.
galaxy.
We got
Who's got him?
26.
Who's
We
got him?
got
Who's got him?
85.
And we got a
okay.
choo-choo train, 40, 40, 40, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55.
And
Did
James
you
will
see
get
when
you
they
to
were
do it.
auctioning off
James,
all of the queen?
James will get you to do a galaxy right now. So I'll let James get people to do a galaxy for me. So he's going to go into the auctioner mode, a cosmic auctioner on
Coming on, coming
encounters.
on, coming on. Come on, coming on. Down the rabbit hole. Get a galaxy, 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 galaxy. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
That was good. I'm going to sing. I will sing, and after I sing, I'm going to hope people are honored after I do this song, galactically, that you will do a galaxy, whoever you are out there. As long as you have the coins, you have to have 1,000 plus coins, I guess, for the galaxy. So I'm going to sing you a song. Let me just get into a frequency.
All right.
We are people from the universe. We are beings of light. We are coming to your planetary system where everything will be all right. Our ships that glow throughout the universe are ships you see in your sky. When you look and you wonder if it's really us, you'll be in for a galactic surprise. When the
Oh!
people come to you from the planetary systems above, we come to you with one thing, and it's called cosmic love.
Yeah! Woo!
That was
That
amazing.
was so nice.
Commander,
Thank
man,
you.
I just got the chills from that, Commander. So I felt like I was at Madison Square Garden watching Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
So because I did that song,
You got a
I can do
galaxy
one.
while you were singing the song. I
Yeah,
don't know if
you
you
Yeah,
know
did.
I,
You
that.
got the
no,
galaxy.
these songs
Thank
have
you guys for
vibrational.
that. I don't
It
know who
has
sent the
vibrational
galaxy,
energy.
but thank you.
I'll do one more song. I know it's coming from higher frequency. I don't do these songs often, but I know how to do them. So as we're waiting for more people to come on to share their stories, if you want me to do one more cosmic song from a high vibrational Ashtar command level, show me a galaxy or two right now. If you liked what I just did, somebody, anybody.
Candy J says, "Damn, Commander's got cosmic bars."
Yeah, it just flowed. It flowed freely. He was like the Busta Rhymes of the Ashtar Command.
Yeah, he was. He
Right.
was.
I was busted. Yeah, you hear about people doing hip hop. I sing.
Hey, maybe you could go into Robert's live and you could do DJ Alion with Robert. L.
Oh yeah,
Robert, and then
El
Elon
Robert.
Musk can come and watch.
Yeah,
Maybe
because El
Commander.
Robert,
Commander's
he
not doing any
jams out.
battling on here on TikTok,
Imagine
no.
that. That would be wild.
But I'll sing one more song, and then hopefully get some interviews going here. So as we're waiting for more people to come in here, not be shy. If you have over 200 the first thing I want to do before I sing another song is see where Grace is right now. Grace has 894 followers. I want everyone to start following her. We got to get her over 900. If we get her to 950, I think we'll be able to get her on live. So
Woot,
everybody right
woot.
now, go to skip to Grace's profile and follow her right now, everybody. The whole world.
Thank you.
Everybody
I
in this
gotta
room.
make sure I do my hair so I get on live.
Oh man,
I'm
Hey,
not
no,
sure
yeah,
if I'm gonna wear my time travel hat or I'm gonna wear my big
yeah.
hat.
I'm counting the numbers. She's at 896 followers. We got to get over 900, folks. We have 73 people in here. Let's make it happen,
I'm telling you guys, thank you so much because I think I got around 100 followers today.
And you're at
wow.
900.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, this morning
Grace,
we were
Joyce,
getting ramped up.
You know what? I'll tell you what, Grace. I don't know if you just dropped a bunch of videos, but today I was just scrolling while I was at work, and like 4 of your videos popped up on my feed.
Oh wow.
Yep.
I have been doing more. I've been trying to do more. What's interesting about this app is that in the beginning it seems really stressful and frustrating to produce content, and then after being on the app for a while, it's like sort of natural.
Yeah, yeah,
It kind of falls
absolutely.
into place. It's because I think to myself, I don't want to go on unless I have something really that I want to share that's real and that doesn't seem contrived.
Right.
So. I mean,
No,
today,
you do.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Commander, go ahead.
No, it's really, no, it's just the way it is. When you come on, you're able to share just yourself, who you are, what you do. I think, every night's going to be different. I think we will find that to be true when we do our TV show here. Every night is absolutely different. So you never know what that person's going to be, who they are, what they're going to say. So it's pretty amazing.
No, such a phenomenal show. And I love this. The app is an incredible app because it just bridges the gap. Like people from all over the world are in the chat.
Yeah.
And we read all of the comments.
Yeah, we try to anyway, right?
Yeah, I do need to do CapCut for my edits. I do. I'm learning. I'm learning about edits. And I'm getting better at it.
Hey, y'all. I'm
Now
gonna
you,
I'm gonna get on the highway now. I love everybody. Have a great show, and man, remember, always be watching the skies at night because
yeah,
Commander might sing you a lullaby song.
Don't fall asleep. You drive
you never,
careful now.
I'm not gonna
yeah.
fall asleep. I'm wired.
Well, if you're listening
Well,
to
I'll tell you what,
relaxing tunes tonight, ramp it up.
you know, Yeah,
Yeah,
if you've seen
Commander,
the
just don't start
spaceships,
singing while I'm driving.
I'll do you a lullaby there, a cosmic lullaby while you're driving. No, I'm just kidding. But when you're driving, seriously though, you're driving on the road. If you do see any spaceships, pull over and videotape or go live or what? No, you're there, but
I'm gonna be watching your show, and the car's gonna be driving itself, so I'm all good.
oh, good. You have one of the self-mechanized advanced car systems. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, get on the road in Florida, and we'll just have you watching the show, listening, and all that jazz. So,
All
and
right,
this is
everybody.
Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. Let's talk UFOs. Let's talk about your visitations. Let's talk about disclosure. I get the feeling I'm Shy will be coming on any night now. I think there's stuff going on, and I really hope I'm Shy gets my telepathic communications. I'm trying to reach out to her mentally, so I'm hoping she'll come on. I'm Shy, if you're out there, I know you can hear me. We can't wait to have you come in here and share some new information. She's pretty busy with her upgrade in cosmic top secret levels, and I'll just message her and find out what's happening. But so there's a lot happening in terms of the galactic stuff. I more or less watch videos of information. Like I said, I don't do websites, but if it's information regarding disclosure or information regarding contact or people, promoting some videos on TikTok about their UFO sightings, I look at and examine those videos, and I sometimes will message those people and say, "Oh, I didn't ever see that video before. Did you know about our show? Come on and talk about it." There's so many millions and millions of people out there that don't even know we exist yet. As much as I've been on here since most of this year, I still find there's so many people on TikTok that really don't know yet that we are here. And so we can all make the reach out happen. Each one of us can reach out to other people in our friends list, their friends list. So it's like a positive domino that just keeps going and going and going, so it's pretty wild. So I want to welcome everybody here. Is there anybody in our broadcast here who's had any sightings? And if you've never told your story before, we definitely want to, hear your story. Please follow, Grace, Skip to Grace. We're trying to get her up to 1,000. She's 100 followers away from 1,000, and I know we can do it. Let's definitely get following her and making sure we get her up there. I want to see where she is right now. She is now at 913. So if we keep going, man, we'll have her get up there. She's really close to getting where she needs to be. And once she gets over 1,000, that camera will be activated and she come on live with her camera. So she's so close. I'm pretty sure if she doesn't get it by tonight, she'll have it by tomorrow night, without a question.
It's so exciting. So now,
Yeah.
what are your favorite star songs in the chat? Do you have favorite songs that are that kind of relate to your stories? I know for me, I've always loved David Bowie.
Yeah. Bowie's
Always,
good.
always.
That people don't realize Elton John wrote a song about spaceships, the flying saucers, something about the flying saucers are here or something. It's a really great song. It was on one of his albums. It never got a lot of airplay at all, but he did a song about it, which I'm suspecting he had probably an encounter in his life. He never talked about it. He wrote it in his music. There's a number of artists that talk about things like this. I think the Byrds did a song called Mr. Spaceman. It
Yeah.
related to space people. There's a number of different artists over the decades that have written songs related to this. So I think Pink Floyd, yeah. Moody Blues, some of the Moody Blues members had been really involved in the UFO thing and contact, and some of their music it kind of relates to that. The Moody Blues were one of the more spiritual cosmic bands coming through the late 60s. And one of their members was really into the ET area. So it was kind of interesting that way.
Yeah, some people are mentioning their favorite songs. I know that for me it was always, well, of course, it was the obvious with David Bowie, Starman.
Yeah.
But he wrote, there was quite a few others that were out. It's funny when you mention it. It's like I've been such a like huge fan of his work, and he's got so much music, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it now, and I'm like, God, I know that there's that Electric Eyes on You, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Keep your electric eyes on me, babe. It's such a good song, and it's like the ray gun. He talked about the ray gun. So
Hmm.
music, I really feel like that these, it's like what happened with you, Chaz. Now people, these artists tap into the cosmic source, and they get that download. Just like movies, movies like they tell the tale of the future.
Mm.
And they tap in, they have like a direct pipeline to
Yeah.
something that's supposed to, come into our field and manifest itself.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That blows my
Without
mind.
question.
And I think the thing is, if we're willing to do so, I know that people have heard of what manifestation is, and, just like putting it into play is really key. I really think that's what Star People, a lot of what they're trying to communicate to us is that we need to tap into our true abilities.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I just changed the background. This is a spaceship with a humanoid. I want people to see what an artist's rendition of a humanoid space being looks like. This is a woman, and there's another woman there from another planet.
Okay,
You see
Commander,
this thing here.
have you ever heard the interview with like I think it was Robert Bigelow, and they asked like, have you ever seen aliens before? And it was like he just said they're walking amongst us all the time, and now like seeing that like a Pleiadian or something, and they look
Yeah.
just like us, and there's probably many civilizations that look exactly like us, and they might be
Oh
walking
yeah.
around. You would never know. Do you think that's
Here's,
possible?
well, it definitely is. They do walk among us. Here's another one of this is a Palladian woman, and this is a painting of a Palladian woman based on Billy Meyer's story that landed their ship in Switzerland as farm. And so this is actually a connection. Now we also, that's right, we are them, Kristen says. So, basically there are men and women from other planets here on Earth that are walking, living amongst us. They can be scientists, they can be teachers, they can even be working in the government very quietly, secretly watching how things move in different governments. And they're actually playing the game very well, but they also come from other planets. They physically came off their ships and they wear Earth-based jeans or they can wear a dress, whatever. They fit into our society quite well. The difference is when you see a person that came off the ship, they'll have their eyes will look a certain kind of energy, and you'll pick that energy up. If you look at their eyes, you will know automatically that they're not from here. They came here from another planet, and they'll just have that certain look in their eyes that you'll see, which is quite amazing.
They said Nikola Tesla was from Venus. Have you ever heard that before?
Oh yeah,
I, I wouldn't be
I believe
surprised.
that's where he was from, you know.
Yeah.
And Samjasi and her star, this was from a book or something or whatever. Uh, Someone did a great artistic creation about the ships coming from that part of the thing coming to Earth. So there's this whole imagery that people have created. And Samjasi and her sister from the Palladian system, the Pallades area, they reside out there somewhere in that region, and that's where their planet is. They have a planet outside of the Pallades star system. They do exist. So I'm like kind of changing the images here so people can see the different images as we go here. Let me see if I can do that again. Let me do this here. Give you some little bit of, let's see, effects here. We'll change that. And this is my good friend Ashtar. This is who Ashtar is. Now people have seen different drawings of Ashtar with long golden hair. This is what Ashtar looks like. This is the real Ashtar. Um, and that painting was created for Tuella. Tuella is not alive anymore. She was the original contact with Ashtar before there was any internet. She contacted Commander Ashtar. And those are the people I work with. And there's just some other renditions here. This is the Pleiades. These are Palladian spaceships, and they're in the Alps, in the Swiss Alps, and they're actually a drawing of if you see the two of them, there's some live video footage from back in the day that when people filmed the Palladian ships, they were above his farm, and there's some old footage that is actually, I think, on YouTube. And then again, here's a grouping of our off-planet of the galactic beings in a circle, Tone's rendition of that. Pure light energy, and these beings are standing there. And that was a great rendition. And you have a man here who is a space commander, space being, who is wearing a space outfit. So these are good renditions of giving you an idea that not everything in space that comes here has got big heads or big eyes. There are many, many human beings that are from other planets. So they do exist. This is a Tuella book. This is the cover of Tuella's book, which shows that there was a time when she wrote a book about world evacuation. If the planet needed to be evacuated, this book was, I still have all these books, gives you all the information regarding Project World Evacuation. That would include the Astronaut Command taking people off the planet if they needed to. We're going back to the original thing here, which is this. So I just wanted to show you some of my things I've saved that I can put on here as background images so you know what it was. Christian says, I was told last night my higher self is an ascendant Atlantean back to help. I think that's really interesting. I think, Kristen, let me see here. I think we're going to bring you on as a guest. I always tell people I'd like to hear things from your higher self perspective. I think, Kristen, you have a good story to tell about your ascendant, the Atlantean backup to help. So I hope you'll come on. Just press the accept button there, and we will put you on the air with us. So let me see if she's able to discover it. So we'll see if she makes it up here. So here it's just, it's a kind of a slow night for some reason. I don't know exactly why. Okay, here we go.
Here I am.
All right. Hey, Kristen. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi. I just got home from a 12-hour shift, so I can't stay on too long.
Okay, and I can honor that. But your story sounds interesting. You want to tell us about your higher self and the Atlantean level?
Yeah, last night I was laying in bed, and I've always known that I'm ninth dimensional, even though I don't exactly know what ninth dimensional means. But last night I was told that there's different timelines that played out in the past, and that my higher self from Atlantis actually went on the timeline where they ascended, not where it was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And that from what I'm not going to go into the understanding of the whole ninth dimension, because it's a lot to even understand of what's going on now, let alone knowing that like there's different universes that have different beginnings and endings, and that's where that is. But my brain can't comprehend all that quite yet.
That's all right. But what you can't jump in. Go ahead.
But what my major message that I was getting last night was that my higher self has already ascended during that linear timeline, and that there's so many timelines left that we're trying to I don't even know, fix is not the right word, but we've done this a lot of times.
Yeah,
I mean,
multiple
every
times.
grade's there. Yeah, we're and during this timeline, that my higher self came back in to help with the ascension process to get the rest of us out.
Right.
Not me personally, my higher self.
Right. It's not you. You're absolutely hit it on. So what you're saying is, you as a star seed came here in human form, just like I talked about, just like Chesno, just like Grace. We came here incarnated into these bodies from another planet, another world,
Yes.
another existence, Atlantean, Lemurian, whatever it might be. And you're now remembering it through your higher self. You're remembering and you're getting downloaded all this information, right? So
Yes.
now you gotta take time to take a deep breath, and everything else that you do in the world, in your home or whatever you might do. Now
Right,
you
because
have
we
to
still have to
take
live
time for yourself.
here in this three-dimensional reality at the
Right.
same time as we're learning all this other stuff, which can be quite tricky at times.
Yeah, because you have to take time to absorb it. And I just think you are just starting to absorb it from your higher self. So you'll take your time with it. It's going to be beautiful. You'll get all that information from the Atlantean level. And as you continually absorb the information, now you can sit down and say, okay, now I got to take one chapter of this at a time. Where do I go with this? So
Right.
there's no rush. You are going to actually take time with it, take a deep breath, and you will translate all that information into your consciousness.
Yes, it comes in very. I'm about. Well, this has been a whole life journey, but
Mm,
like to where I could actually accept things that were going on because of the religious dogma that I was
yeah.
raised in. It took a very, very probably longer than it should have, but I guess there is no
Mhm.
real time. So, um, but yeah, now that I'm to the point being able to understand and accept the higher, now I just gotta figure out what I'm supposed to do with that information. Like what
Oh, yeah.
is the next step?
And you can even write notes, Kristen, as you're sitting there meditating and getting the information. You can say, oh, this is really important. So there'll be
Yeah.
things that'll jump out at you as you're downloading through your higher self. That'll be like really important things, and you can bulletin point and make notes of those things. Well, you probably already know that, but you can do that. And the things that you think are the most important things, you'll take that and say, okay, here's a list of things I've come up with from the higher self download that I can actually utilize in my daily life, or maybe even on TikTok or wherever. But you'll have the ability to actually make that happen.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's just a lot. Like I said, this has been a very long, long, long healing journey for
Yeah.
me, and I've been set in one direction, and spirit's like, okay, well, I just had to do that to be more confident. Well,
Hmm.
that was a year out of my life trying to share my whole story, write a book, get it published, everything else, and then now it's like, okay, well, I think we're going to go in this direction with that.
You
And
know,
you
one
will.
thing,
I mean, go ahead,
one
Jay.
thing,
Go.
one thing I learned about myself,
Go
is I also recently had a hip replacement on August 30th, and prior to that, I couldn't stand on my feet longer than like 10 minutes. So I've been like posted up in bed for like a good year, a lot of time, a lot of me time. So I really did a lot of shadow work and fixed a lot of things that I didn't wasn't necessarily liked about myself. And I learned though, like really inner healing doesn't really begin until you love yourself. And like there's just no exceptions. Like you got to really like
It took me 43 years to learn the difference between selfishness and
mhm.
self-love. Like I never loved myself because I
Yeah.
thought it was selfish.
Like, me too. Me too. Or you felt like it was like cocky of you, like how dare you like
Right.
yourself? But that society drilled that in your head though from a very
Exactly.
early age. All of us. So you kind
Oh,
of got
yeah.
to, you don't have a lot of time. A lot of people don't have time to reflect like I did. People are distracted by their jobs and their families. They don't have the opportunity like I did. And I took this as a blessing in disguise, even though I went through like hell for a year waiting for the surgery. But like I said, I did a lot of shadow work, and I just come to the realization that it's not selfish. It's like it's actually selfish if you don't love yourself and tell yourself and show a lot of gratuity, and appreciate the things that you have. And when you start operating like that, and you operate on a love frequency, it's the strongest frequency, and it's the law of attraction. Good things will start happening to you, and you got to have faith
Mm.
though the whole time that the
One
universe will act.
100%. But one thing that I mean, within the last couple of weeks, I've learned, like I was on the same page that like love was the highest frequency. However, what I'm learning is that authenticity is the
Mm,
highest frequency.
mm.
Yeah, being authentic. Yeah. Well, yeah, if you're
I
authentic,
like
you always
I
have
like
to be the authentic you. Yeah, I do too.
Right. Right, like 100%, like not afraid of what other people say or think
that.
anymore. Like, like, I was told I was crazy my whole life. So like trying to share my truth like has been hard for me because I thought that I was gonna get the same from society, but like when you're actually acting in those actions and other people see it, then things aren't as hard for them to believe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when people say this is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. We have Chesno, we have Kristen, Skip the Grace, our spiritual cosmic counselor, and we have James on the way home listening to us in audio. And so when I ever hear this word, people say, "Oh, I think people thought I was crazy 30 years ago, whatever." Now look at the whole dynamic switchover on our planet. People would say, "Oh, I don't believe you. I think you're crazy." And then you realize you're not crazy. People said you were crazy, but it doesn't mean you are crazy. And if you had encounters, you weren't crazy. And if you had visitations, you weren't crazy. Although they would say you're crazy because they didn't understand you, because they were
Yeah.
still in that sleeping
Right.
state of the matrix. But once they would eventually wake up, now when the ships start appearing over their houses and they go outside and they were the ones saying you were crazy, their guys are going to almost pop out when there's a spaceship coming out their house and hovering there for an hour. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's
absolutely.
what's going
And
to happen.
Kristen, and you know what? I'm going to add something to that. I feel like what happens is when you're on the planet long enough, you realize that people have not caught up to your timeline yet. When they say they look at you like, oh, you're crazy. Because I've had that happen in my life where I've expressed something to someone and they
Hmm.
just look at me like, pure and utter, like, what are you thinking? And
Right.
20, fast forward 15 years, and they're, like, om, they're oming, and I'm like, my head scratching my head, thinking, like, wait a second, what?
Right. That's right.
So,
You know,
and I
and,
agree with you. Yeah. And so you said earlier, Chesno, about self love. Self love is like mastery. It's
mm,
self-actualization, and when you are authentic, you are loving yourself.
hmm
Yes, and when you love yourself, and you're authentic, you have confidence, and confidence is not caring what people think about you because you love yourself. So it's just
right.
doesn't even matter. So and then you start acquiring all these things along the way, and they really start building your character, and it makes you a really strong individual. So it takes time, it takes patience for sure.
And
Yeah,
when you love yourself, and we're going to bring Danny on in a second, when you love yourself, love from a cosmic perspective, no one can break that energy of love because they can say you're this, they can call you names, and it's like that shield of love that's in your vibrational pattern makes them get exhausted. They get tired of trying to do it to you because they can't do anything. They're saying, well, how come that person doesn't care what I'm doing? I'm trying to bring their vibrational level down. They can't do it because you have self-love. And that's the important thing. If all of us have self-love cosmically in our physical being, there's not one person that can shatter that. You can walk through that crowd and you
yeah,
wouldn't even care because it
yep,
doesn't matter.
Mm.
And
yep.
Danny, welcome to the show.
What's up, you guys? Hope everybody's having a great night, man. Yeah, I could definitely I agree with all of you, especially when this man says meditation and whatnot. Yeah, and the self love and all of it. It just goes to show you that. Well, if you, for one, we have the law of attraction. So when we meditate and we get to this high frequency, we resonate at a certain frequency that we're gonna attract all these things that we believe that we truly want and that we truly deserve. If we live it like we already have it, and we think we 100% deserve it, and we eat, live, and sleep it, it's gonna just come to us just by the law of the universe. And not only that, but it just he said meditation and all that. Well, for those who don't know, it's getting so big. Like, yeah, a lot of us been called crazy or mental or this and that throughout our whole lives and whatnot. But these are abilities that most people do have. And just to go to show you that they had to change the word UFO to UAP to make it okay
Right.
to talk about. Well, we all still call them UFOs because we know the honest God truth. And not only
Yeah, we
that, but
know.
also we got if for people who don't know, we have the CIA that they've been funding the Monroe program for a very long time, since the 70s, I think. That's been, and lately, just the past like 5 years, they've been pouring millions and millions of dollars into this. And what the Monroe program is remote viewing. They've seen Russia and a couple other countries sitting there and having these remote viewers, and bringing individuals that had abilities, which I think most of us have abilities and whatnot. Maybe we have some people, they don't see it and agree with it, and they think that, oh well, that's kind of crazy and whatnot. Well, that's because we've been programmed our whole life to watch and jump like a monkey and dance like they want us to. But in reality, I mean, everybody can have that connection. You rise your frequency, you get conscious. You know what I'm saying? You connect with source. You do what you want to do. But the bottom line is, we all have abilities. Once you practice
Yeah,
it and you meditate and you connect and start talking to entities and other spiritual entities that are in different dimensions, and getting answers, and actually uh,
Yeah.
just seeing everything add up, and the patterns that connect, that you've been knowing your whole life. That just the energy you feel, you know your gut feeling from right and wrong. I mean,
yeah,
it just goes to show you, if the United States and every other country is pouring millions of dollars on remote viewing on one program, basically remote viewing is the same thing as us meditating, astral traveling, remote viewing, meditation, connecting to source. Bottom line, that's exactly what it is, and it is
Yeah.
very
yeah,
And all
accurate
these
on top of it.
abilities, all these abilities we all have, they just lay dormant in your body, but you can activate it. And it's just a lot of people don't know and they're still learning. But once everybody learns how to activate this, it's game over, you know?
Yeah,
no,
well, I think a
Absolutely.
lot of
And
people.
people are accessing their abilities too, Chesno. Like people
right.
are finally realizing they have access to these, like remote viewing. I know Ari Geller, Uri Geller, who is the remote viewer. Do you know him, Commander? He's a remote
Yeah,
viewer for the
he
US
used to bend.
government.
Uri Geller was from Israel. He used to bend things without touching it.
Yeah, he taught me how to bend spoons.
Yeah, he can bend spoons.
Yeah, I learned how to bend spoons from Uri Geller. I can do that. And it's not easy. It's very easy to do. It's extremely
When
easy.
you
It
come
Yeah,
on
once you
actually,
live,
practice.
when when you come on live, Grace, with your camera, I'll let you do the honors of not touching the spoon and
of
bending it.
bending spoons,
That would be
it,
really
it's
cool.
it's unbelievable. But you know what? It's so easy to do, and
You're gonna have to
it
teach me
got
next
boring.
C5. Next
It
C5,
actually,
I want to learn.
it actually got boring. Like it
Oh,
got boring. I remember we were doing them, and we were bending so many things, so many spoons that we were like, okay, this is boring now. What next? It was like, so I can bend the
now.
spoon, big deal.
Yeah, right.
Here's something I'm gonna do. You just made me think about this while we're talking about the UFOs and the ETs. How would you like me remotely somewhere? I don't know whose room it's going to be in, but someone has something in their room, and I'm going to move it right now. I want to test this out for the first time to see if I can remotely move an object in your home. That's really going to be wild. I'm not saying I can do it because I've never done this before, so I'm now wanting to
You want to
test the
try? You
theory.
want to try to move this lighter I have, like on this desk here?
Okay, I'm going to try to move multiple objects from different people that are on here in your home. So I'm going to try to do that right now. I'm going to see if I can do this. Give me a minute. And I've never done this before. I'm not trying to do magicianal things. I'm trying to see if I have the cosmic ability to move objects. Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be
Well,
Right
you
awesome.
on this
do.
show, I'm going
You
to
can
do this for the
practice it and
first time.
master it no matter what. I know that. That's just God honest truth.
Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes here. I want you to pick an object anywhere in your perimeter and in the where you are. I don't know if anything's going to happen, but we're going to see if I can move something. I might speak as I'm saying this, or I might just put my energy into conscious thought. So I will actually speak it, I think. I asked my higher self if I have the ability to move an object in somebody's home, on their desk, wherever they are right now, looking at their TikTok. I want to move an object on in somebody's room. And I have no idea. Maybe nothing is going to happen. Maybe something's going to happen. I'm not saying one way or the other because I don't know. I've never done this before. So we're going to try to move an object. In a minute, I'll know. Give it one more minute. So I'm acting as if I were picking up an object and moving it. All right. Again, I could have possibly not have moved anything. If anyone says I've moved something, let me know. And again, I might have moved absolutely nothing. Wow. Nobody's typing anything in here. I don't know what happened. I don't think I did. You need to think outside of the thoughts for it to happen. Jay Vera, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah, I know if you practice, you can master it no matter what. I know it could be done. That ain't a question.
Yeah. I probably need to focus on it more. This is the first night I'm actually testing this out, and I know I can do it. I just think I need to meditate on it and so forth. It's about focus, yeah.
Maybe a
But
single object at first before you try to do multiple at once.
yeah, so we'll bring. I'm going to start bringing some people on here. And this is Encounters about 12:21 in the morning. It's a Friday night. There's no rush to go anywhere. It's still moving. Barman. Okay, Barman, what's moving? Did I thank you for the heart? It's like someone is trying to. What?
So Galactic Mastery, he's been on our show. He practices that
Yeah.
type of work, and he's done remote viewing for he's for the government. I know he's worked with Dr. Greer as well. And
Mm-hmm.
he practices with wind and leaves. Like he'll get like a pile of leaves and he'll will the leaves into a circle with his energy,
Yeah.
with his hands. And, people in the chat, everyone can do this. It's not like you just have to practice. I think it was Danny, right? Danny was
Yeah.
saying it. Danny was saying
Yeah.
it. Everyone has the ability.
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely.
just got to work at it. You got to work at it.
I've seen people who try when they start off. They start with like a helium balloon, just trying to move it left to right with no wind or anything that can move the balloon besides your train of thought and focus, whatnot.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
windsock. Windsock is a good something that's easy to, one of those circular, like the ones that spin in a circle. Those are really good to practice with.
Yeah.
But the spoon bending was interesting because you basically concentrate your energy. It's moving energy. So when you when you do Tai Chi and you can feel that energy ball, there's this like electric field, magnetic field around your body that you can feel.
Mm.
Yeah, it's exactly
And
what you're saying. It's electromagnetic. It comes down to that. Yep.
yep, and then you can like feel that energy ball in your hand. And then so what happens is you channel that energy ball into the metal of the spoon, and then you just you just like will it to bend, and it just bends.
Yeah.
Do you imagine it first? Like, do you have to like visualize it, like
Yeah, you like
bending?
harness the energy. So like say you don't know, you haven't felt your own energy field yet. You just take your hands and you form like you
Like,
have an imaginary ball in your hands and you kind of play with that energy. You can like almost like remember when you were a kid and you used to like play with silly putty or something and you would like spread it and you could feel like that that push and pull or magnets. That's sort of what energy
Yeah.
feels like. It's like imagine take your two hands, put them together in front of you and like just pull them back and forth and like rotate them around like you're holding an imaginary ball, and you can just feel the energy. And so once you start to kind of hone into that energy, and feel what that feels like, because it almost is sticky. And that's what Tai Chi, like they'll teach you that in Tai Chi, to feel that energy flowing in the body, and then you can literally push the energy into objects. And then and I've done this where I've pushed energy into people to heal them. Like I've sent people energy from afar that way as well, because you don't have to be in the same room with them. I know Commander does this.
I could give you guys some a story, and that you guys could look up into the evidence about energy and healing and whatnot. I'm sure somebody probably, maybe at 100 people, they might have seen this, but there's a video out there, and it's a very known video where there's three doctors, and they have a lady on a doctor's bed or whatnot, and they have a sonogram, a 3D sonogram, or sonogram. I'm saying it right? Where they check the baby or whatnot. Well, anyway, a 3D sonogram to where she has a tumor in her stomach, and these three doctors, and it's live too. They keep it on a live sonogram while they're doing it, and there's three doctors sitting around, and they're sitting there, and they're all together sitting there, and they're saying wuksha, 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 and about 15 minutes slowly as 15 minutes go by, you could see it literally go away. And these other doctors that didn't know what they were doing, they pulled them to the side after, and they were like, how did you do that? I mean, you literally just took like a tumor, I think it was a tumor with full cancer or something, out of this lady. And they asked them, and they said, well, we use wuksha. Wuksha means it's done. And they just used the frequency healing. And basically, when you truly believe it, your energy resonates. We're all just 99.99 empty space. So basically, also, when you resonate and you truly believe it, it's going to happen. It's just like me, like with, there's a table right in front of me. If I get my electromagnetic frequency the same, lined up, tuned with the table in front of me, we're 99.99 empty space. If I get it tuned with that electromagnetic field, I can put my hand right through it. It's really that simple. And basically, you do the same thing with the healing.
Yeah, and Danny, what's important is right now people feel threatened by, outside attack, right? So whatever it is, it could be the resonance of the earth. It could be a number of things and changes in the atmosphere. It could be, lots and lots of all the electronics that are around us that are just, completely overruling our life. I mean, I'm standing in my kitchen. I have probably like 5 or 6 electronic, machines all around me, and then the phone.
It's all around me. Yeah.
So you can like take your field, and you can build your field up and create a force field around your body, and you can protect yourself from those fields. That is
absolutely. We can make it stronger. We have one that goes around our body. And what will prove it also, to go to show you that something proves it, I'm sure all of you, say when you hear the saying, oh man, when she walked in the room with this big red dress, everybody turned around and looked. That's the electromagnetic field with your brain heart coherence. And it's real. It's real science. There's evidence behind it.
That's the magnetism. That's like
it's exactly the magnetism. And you're right. You could add it more to have a field go right around you, and to make it strong to where it can keep entities and other things out of it also.
So if everyone in the room can blow up, like imagine your energy field, or your auric field around your body, blowing it up and pushing it out and like activating.
And I highly recommend anybody to watch that video that Danny was talking about. It's actually an episode. It's actually, don't ask me how I know this, but it's season 1, episode 7 of Missing Links on Gaia. And Dr. Greg Braden explains that whole scene where this is a live.
You said Dr. Greer explains it?
No, I'm sorry.
No, Dr. Greg Braden.
Oh, Greg
Graydon.
Braden. Oh, yeah.
So
So
it's on
I
the
Greg
Gaia.
see.
What
Braden,
channel? I
yeah,
want
I
to
know
see
who
it
it is.
again. What was it on
It's
again? Gaia what?
Missing Links. It's on Gaia, but you could probably get a clip of it on YouTube. And it's season 1, episode 7 of Missing Links, and it shows the whole ceremony of when they do the prayer, and he
Yeah.
explains
Yeah.
art coherency and the mechanics and the science behind it. So it's a really
Yeah.
fascinating. I invite anybody to watch it. It's
Oh man, I'm telling you,
it got
it's
me going on
amazing.
my spiritual path actually. So
So Riley's
Gaia.
actually
And, al-
doing a example sample right now for us in
and,
his
and also, Riley's doing an example. Let's also welcome JMK
Hi JM.
ERK12.
You can just call me JM. It's fine.
Hi JM.
JM, okay.
Welcome.
Hey,
Oh,
JM.
damn.
And
So
we're JM.
nice to be here.
Where are you located on the planet?
So I'm actually in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, Phoenix. There's a lot of stuff going on in the
Yes,
mountainous areas outside of there
yes,
right now.
yes. So I just kind of wanted to add, like I'm a Reiki practitioner, so I do Reiki, and it's basically what all of you are talking about is working with your body's natural energies. Um, you have approximately it's anywhere from 6 to 10 foot surrounding your body, um, and that's your energy field. And the best way that I like to explain what you guys were talking about, and it makes it easier for people, is how many of you have seen Wizard of Oz?
Everybody, bro.
I
So
think everybody has.
Right. So Glenda the Good Witch, when she comes in this, iridescent bubble with the rainbow colors and what have you. That's what I tell people to imagine. Imagine putting yourself in that bubble, that spiritual protection, energetic protection, you name it. And it makes it easier for people to understand because, it's something that they can imagine.
yeah, and
Yep.
visualization is very
Take it a step
important because
further.
you need to match the feeling, and it's easier
Right.
to that feeling when you visualize it. So
Right.
visualization is everything when it comes to manifestation. Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. It's
Absolutely.
Yep.
true. Absolutely true,
Also,
Chaz. Now.
also
Also,
Virgo.
you said how big was that magnetic field just at an average?
On
I know you
average,
can.
it's
Yeah,
about 6 to 10 feet surrounding a person's body.
6 to 10 feet. So I would say, and when you were resonating at a higher frequency, heart coherence, you could get that to go a little. It could get to a higher level, not
Oh yeah.
extremes,
Right.
maybe like 15, maybe 12 feet, but people feel it around you, which
Oh
you
yeah.
raise their frequency, and that's why they turn around.
Well,
Absolutely.
Danny,
Yeah.
you talked about the little dress, when the
Right.
lady walks in the room with the red dress. I mean, I know
Correct.
that if I look up, now take it a step further than just 6 to 10 feet. If you're on a block, I have a very large block I live on in my neighborhood, and my neighbor is probably about 1,000 feet up the block, and his auric field can reach all the way up to my front porch.
Oh
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's pretty.
we can
Absolutely.
And,
travel for and that's what I was talking about with the spoon bending. And
Oh yeah.
then you, Danny, mentioned the remote viewing. That's
think.
what this is. This is
Yep.
all part of it.
Oh yeah,
But
and
to
think
Yeah.
take
about
it a
this.
step further,
I'm sure everybody has experienced one time in their life where they're like 50 feet away from somebody and they felt something. They turn around and they look someone straight in the eyes and they're staring directly into their eyes and they're 50 feet from them because they felt
Yeah.
them literally feeling it. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same
imagine the
thing.
And some
potentiality of
people do
that.
it. Some people do it
Yeah, it's
unconsciously
fabulous.
too. You know.
Mm.
Yeah, imagine the
And
potentiality of that.
Commander,
So
I know
When you focusing and doing the
Commander,
things, oh yeah, you get extremes.
what's
I know
oh
that?
you
yeah.
have
And
Commander.
and
You,
You're
you have
JM,
focusing,
it's
like
you
when
have
you want to,
crystals. I
when
know
you're
you have
actually
crystals.
like 100% conscious and you're trying to look for it and do that.
Can
This
you
is like
grab a small
on
one
an
like
average
this?
day thing when with the electromagnetic field. So when you sit there and you try to apply it and practice it, oh yeah, absolutely. Say like you said, conscious. Like yeah, man, when you're conscious and you're paying attention to whatnot, and you're trying to do it. Oh, absolutely, you can master it, and your field can go
Yeah.
way up. Hey, can you put him on the big screen while he does that?
Mm.
Oh yeah. Hold on. We'll do
and
that.
JM, you know this. You know that a part of that moving that electromagnetic field and activating it has to do
Hey
with
Riley, there you go.
thought.
Yes.
It
Absolutely.
has to do with thought. You've got
It
people
does.
in the chat who want to really learn how to
Yeah.
control the
Yeah.
field,
Oh, I
allowing things to penetrate.
I
When
can
you're an empath, it's very difficult to control it because you're feeling everybody's energy. Everybody's
I
Yeah.
negativity
I
is
can
hitting
explain a
you
little
at
bit
100
on that.
miles an hour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I can
Um,
absolutely.
Go ahead.
All right. So basically, we are okay. So our body has, I'm just going to call them antennas, but we have basically 11 antennas that we are transmitting and receive 24/7. Even when we're dreaming, we are transmitting and receiving 24/7. So all of our thoughts, we are actually downloading them. As much as you want to remember and whatnot, we're really not. We're actually downloading the thoughts and we're receiving and transmitting all the times. And it goes right back to the frequency. Whatever frequency we're resonating at is the things that we're actually going to download. And it goes right back to the electric magnetic field. The proof behind it is they've done all these studies. Like, I'll give you an example too. So they took one of the studies, they took like a group of people, like 40 people, and they blindfolded them and drove them around for about an hour. And they got them to the end of the cliff, and they said, okay, which way is home? Okay, out of all the people who they brought and blindfolded and drove around for about an hour, they asked them, which way is home? 75% of them pointed exactly the way they came from. So because we
Yeah.
have these quasi crystals in our brain. That's just in our brain. The 11 ones that I'm talking about were in our body also. So we're actually downloading them.
yeah. And just to let people know, this is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. Will be here till 1 a.m. Eastern. I want to also ask JM in Arizona, I get the feeling you've had some encounters out there.
Yeah.
I knew that. See, people, this is what happens. I read people's energies before we have a discussion with them. And I know you had some encounters. Can you tell us some of the things that are happening out there with your life with the space people?
So my favorite one that I like to talk about is actually the Phoenix Lights. I was actually 16 when it happened, and it was the day after my brother's birthday. So my family had taken him to the casino to do the whole, it's my 18th birthday, let's go have fun. Um, and I remember getting a call from my mom telling me to go outside, that something crazy was going on outside. So my my other brothers and myself and some of our friends, we all go running outside, and sure enough, there were our friends. And so I just kind of that was about the same time that I had basically started my spiritual journey, and that's when I started learning Reiki. So I knew, just tune into your
Yeah,
energy. And so I
yeah,
did. And the best uh, it it was a level of joy that I felt that the only thing that I can compare it to is when my children were born.
yeah,
I just felt this unconditional love, this peace, this this joy. Like I can't explain it any better than that. It was amazing. And I really at the time, I told my friends, I said, I'm just overflowing with joy, and I'm just thanking my lucky stars, because that was my reference at the time, your lucky
yeah,
stars. Um, and I was just so grateful, and I just began weeping because
yeah,
it was beautiful. Um, we've had other encounters where we've seen almost like you see in the Dr. Greer videos, when he's using or what is that or
the
the
C5 app.
C5 app, yeah. And you see them come in, and the way that I explained it to people is it's almost like they're winking at us. They're telling us, "Hey, we're
Mhm.
here. How's it going?" And it's an amazing experience. And I personally have never had to use these type of things in order to see. I just open my heart. And it's like Danny was
Well,
saying, we have the
yeah,
receptors and the antennas. And the biggest thing that I can tell people is, if you want to see this, just be pure of heart. Be pure of heart.
Yeah.
Put love
You know
in.
what?
Don't let the rest of the world bother you.
Yeah, and it's a lot
Now,
easier
when you've had those encounters, um, you saw the Phoenix lights when those were going on because you live out there. You saw those, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I want to get your perspective, and this is really important. So,
Okay.
when I hear stories about the lights, Phoenix lights, and other encounters of physical objects that are
Mhm.
spaceships, really, I mean, let's just go ahead and say it. Have you
Yeah.
had any telepathic communications? Have you had any? I get the feeling, whether you're sleeping or not, that you've had visitations. I mean, physical.
Yeah, I definitely do. Mine's more of like, I guess you could say, mediumship kind of.
Okay.
Um, and I'm just kind of learning how to do that. So forgive me if my words are a little off. I have my frame of reference.
No
Um,
worries.
but a good example of it is one night my husband made me chicken Alfredo because I wasn't feeling good, and it's one of my favorite meals. Um, and I don't have a sense of smell. Like it's completely gone. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It is. So one of the ways that I know when I'm truly getting something, um, is I get what they call phantom smells, I believe.
Hmm.
And I felt or I smelt, like canned chicken. Canned chicken has a very like distinct smell to it. And I
Yeah.
couldn't get it out of my nose in a sense, no matter what I
Wow.
did. And I asked my husband, I said, "Did you use canned chicken? Like, why would you use canned chicken?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "I use regular, chicken." I
Right.
was like, okay. So I started just kind of tuning in and like tapping into my energy and the universe and everything. And I said, okay, just let it come out. Whatever comes, comes. And I just started saying things to him and stuff and telling him. And he's like, I don't know, maybe you should talk to my mom. And I said, okay. So the next day I called my mother-in-law, who is amazing. And I started telling her about it. Her mother, like the time before she passed, or because let's see, yeah, it must have been the time before she passed away. But they went back and they were sitting around the table and they were just telling funny stories. And she had told her son and my mother-in-law about how her husband had tested her to see if she'd be a good wife by
Hmm.
buying canned chicken every Sunday and telling her to make a meal of it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how he tested her. But it was amazing. And that's something that's definitely opened up for me since I've had some of my encounters. And if I could tell anybody anything is don't be afraid.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
even
so
if,
And
yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was
I
going
was
I
to
was
say,
gonna
just
say,
going
even
to
if,
mention really quickly that your the ability that you're mentioning is called clarifraction, and
okay,
it's the ability it's psychic ability to sense smell.
yeah.
okay.
That's what it's
Thank you.
called.
I never knew what it was called. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Have you recorded? This is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. We have Grace on, we have Chesno, Riley, we have Danny, also my host. They probably got home now, hopefully, and we also have JM out in Arizona. Have you recorded any of the visual sightings you've been having over the past year?
No, because honestly, I almost feel some of them, or the ones that I've encountered so far, I kind of feel like it was meant for that moment, if that makes
Yeah,
sense, for
yeah,
those who
it
were
does.
there to experience it. Um, so I'm relatively a small person. Okay, I'm like 5'4" and I'm maybe 110 pounds. And so to be somebody's protector is not in the cards for me, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I feel like my way of protecting people is like trying to show them the peace and educate them about these things that are very real, that are very measurable and stuff like that. And so I don't, and it's the empath side of me. I don't like to see people scared.
Right. That's the
Um,
last thing you want to see happen, right?
exactly. And one of the things that I know a lot of people worry about when it comes to like disclosure or anything like that is they're worried about this freak out and this mass panic and whatever.
Yeah.
And my message to people is just don't be afraid,
Yeah.
because
Don't.
the truth is they've been coming around for so very long. Like in the United States, I think the furthest back ones were that were documented or what have you is like Roswell
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But there were so many more before that. You can
Yeah.
look
Oh yeah.
in
Yeah, we
And
got
people,
ancient,
documented
people,
in the
you're
Emerald
right.
and Sumerian
yeah,
tablets. That the ancient tablets we have documented. Even Christopher
Oh
Columbus
yeah.
absolutely,
saw something come out of the water.
Yeah, they never left.
absolutely,
They've always been here for sure.
absolutely. And so it's nothing to be afraid of, because the truth is if, and this is just my personal belief, and anybody else, they can believe what they want to, but I feel like if they were going to do something nefarious, it would have already happened.
I
Right.
Yeah, I
agree.
brought it
Exactly
up.
right.
I've been
Yeah, I brought
saying
it
that.
up the other night with the Black Knight satellite. That satellite's been up there for a very, very, very long time, and the government knows it ain't theirs or human or whatnot, and they do not
Right.
mess with it because of it. And yeah, they're just observing us. They're
Yeah.
a third level civilization to where they use up their whole galaxy and all its resources. We are only a civilization one where we used up our whole planet and all its resources. Maybe civilization two where we use up the star, but we're not there yet until we get to Mars and whatnot.
Right.
And the thing to understand is, speaking of Mars, for those that don't know it, I am from Mars. I incarnated in human form. A starseed would be more probably apropos for the wording definition, but I came from Mars as a child with human parents who were no longer on the planet. They moved on. But I became fully awakened, and I was always being reminded, oh, you come from Mars. One day when I was a kid, I said, I come from Mars. And, the funny thing is, when we get into the thing about Mars, is that NASA would like to think, and others would like to think, that they can inhabit Mars. So I always have to let people know this is very interesting, that Earth, things like NASA and all these other people trying to shoot rockets up into space, and they think they're going to go to Mars and inhabit Mars, that Mars is going to be colonized. They can't colonize Mars. See, people think Mars is a planet without life that used to have life. There were some galactic things that happened a long time ago, millions of years ago actually, that affected not just Mars, but there was also a planet called Maldek. And Maldek was a huge planet. Well, you see the asteroid belt, those asteroids were part of a huge planet called Maldek. Look it up, Maldek. Okay,
Okay.
the Mars is a planet with 10 to 15 million inhabitants living within the planet. Mars's atmosphere now is breathable. Now, millions of years ago, there were some problems because of something with technology that was used. They weren't using it to destroy anything. They were testing some technology out, and it kind of backfired. So that's why Mars is looked at as being this desert, empty planet, which in fact it's not. There are places on Mars now where there's vegetation. There's a little bit of areas where there might be water. Most of Mars water is underneath the surface. So it's sort of reversed from our oceans and not only our oceans, but our seas. They do have rivers and lakes. They're all reversed under the planet. So within the planet, just like you have
So
the
it,
hollow earth where people live. You heard the hollow earth theory. There are
yeah.
space people, beings that are highly advanced with our own planet. They live beneath us in that, what they call the Agartha network. But go ahead.
Isn't that what you're referring to, like with the water? Would it be almost like the aqueducts or whatever?
You mean on Mars?
Yeah.
Yeah, on Mars, there are seas and oceans, believe it or not. The polar cap, which has been photographed many times, is similar to the ice, the polar caps we have on Earth, meaning, let's
Okay.
say, the North Pole, South Pole. So there
Mhm.
is a cold area on Mars, which is similar to Earth because there are people on Mars that actually now live there. A good portion of people during the problems incarnated onto human form on Earth a long time ago. But a lot of us here, whether you realize it or not, you're from Mars. Not all of you, but some of you are incarnated in human form. And if you're from Mars, you'll remember it at some point, or maybe until you wake up, you won't know it. But Mars is a very beautiful planet, and any time you hear someone say that Mars doesn't have any life on it, that person's either a government agent or somebody that doesn't really know what they're talking about. So I want to share some of my Martian consciousness with you in the human form because that's where I'm from.
That's amazing. Like, my son in particular, he's 5, and he has this natural just curiosity for space. I mean, anytime he gets to pick what we're watching on TV, he's on YouTube looking up space stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and I keep telling him, I said, baby, you're probably a star seed, you know.
Hmm.
I believe that to my core because he's just he's so like uh, he's so loving, and he's so just like everything's beautiful. And he was saying something similar because I had brought up and I don't know if it's still rumor yet or not, but there were rumors for a while that the rovers or whatever had found fossils on Mars, and that they were like these spider-like kind of things, and that they'd found them fossilized. And I said, well, then that proves right there, that for starters, we're not the only, I mean,
Right.
whether it was intelligent or not, whether they had evolved or not, they were still life there. And so everything is beautiful, and that's just how you got to see it. And
Uh, you
And
should tell
Mars,
him, you should let him know. And for anybody who wants to know about space and to get details and even get tours done, and even you could go and get the video of the rover looking at a 3D thing on Mars, you go to worldwidetelescope.org. It is by
okay.
far the most incredible website for space and I mean, all of it. It has it all on it, and it's very detailed. They even will take you through tours and explain all of it and everything.
yeah,
Thank you very
and
much. I'll check it out.
that's really important. I'm glad you mentioned that. And also, just to let people know, if you ever hear NASA or anybody or Elon Musk or anyone saying we're going to go to Mars and we're going to, populate the planet, no, it's against universal law, number one, and it's like saying we're going to go from Mars and take over the planet Earth. Not going to happen. The Martian population operates at a very high vibrational pattern. Even though it's in the same solar system, the vibrational level of Mars is way, way higher. So the people on Mars, they live in a very higher state of consciousness with the Creator. There's no religions on Mars. There's no shopping malls. There's nothing like Earth. It's the complete opposite. The Earth got stuck and was quarantined for millions of years because of all the conflicts on the planet. And now the planet is vibrating at a much higher level, the Earth. And that's why people need to get prepared on this planet for physical contact with our space brothers and sisters, because that is coming a lot sooner than one thinks.
So my feeling is that, and I've even told, I tell everybody this, but I'd say within 5 years or less. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yes. I can tell you in terms of contact,
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of information downloaded. And I've correlated last year before I got on TikTok. I felt something was going to happen. I go by feelings, and I'm a telepathic communicator with
Okay.
Kedar Manka of the Statutory Council. I don't channel. I've been communicating with him before the internet existed as an adult, And he even stated, as well as Bashar, through Dal Anka, Paul Anka's brother, who does the communications directly with Bashar, that he said 2026 ending into 2027. But I now really feel that the timeline is going to be a lot quicker, and we're not waiting till 2027 for something to occur. I think a good portion of that's going to start coming in waves. The ships are going to be coming in waves to Earth. Some of them might be cloaked. They're going to make visual contact with people in different parts of the world, and they're going to make physical contact. So I do see that occurring. From what I understand, so in your question, I would say everyone needs to prepare really within themselves, get their consciousness to calm down and
Yeah.
focus on getting ready for contact.
Yeah.
Also,
Gonna
also
bring
to
them
add to that,
down on
because
November 12th.
Can I share something with you, important Commander, real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead.
I know we've got a lot of important information, especially with what Rabbit just put out. There's a lot of pretty girls on TikTok, and what they're doing is they're on here, and on their profile they have their like Instagram. And then people click on the Instagram and then they go on to that Instagram profile. And because it's allowed on Instagram to share links in your profile, they link to their other things. So like you might benefit from having something similar to where you put your Instagram in your profile information, and then you'd have like your YouTube link, your email link, all of that
Oh yeah, or a link
information.
tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, basically a link could take you and take all your identification and all your information. Basically, the link could
Well,
be
there's that too. You got to be
malware and all
careful.
that stuff. Anyway, what I
Yeah,
was going to say
you know,
You can
on
make
top,
it. You can make it private so that that your friends aren't viewed by all those people. So you make
oh,
your friends list in the account so that it doesn't just go on out there. I mean, if you have a Facebook, all your information's out there. It's hard.
yeah,
all right. What I was going to add to Commander's wisdom also is, yeah, I agree with him. I think it would be a little sooner than late 2026, early 2027. But at the same time, you got to take in the factor that that's just the oversouls thinking the most probability, because there's infinite probabilities of what could happen. But what he is referring to, and what I'm thinking, because so many people are awakening and whatnot, that we think it's sooner. But at the same time, there's infinite probabilities. So basically, what he was just saying was that is the most probability that will happen. What they think that
right,
will happen up till for now, and how we're going, and still in
right.
our conscious and collective conscious and straight source.
And you know, the timeline is, like I said, no one can predict the future. But when you get 3 or 4 people, now this is really important to understand. I'm Shai, who's our contact. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. I'm going to share that with you. Hold on a minute.
Okay, we're gonna earlier.
Abbott, is that the
Yeah, we got the
thing you were going to say?
meditation happening on the 12th.
How we didn't hear from Rachel yet. Rachel, what's going on?
Oh, hey Rachel, I didn't even realize she was in the room.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
Rachel, how's it going?
What's up?
I'm good. I'm just kind of tired
Yeah.
Nice to see you
from
in.
last night. I
You
would have been here late last
rolling
night.
in. I'm like a night owl. Everybody in this chat are night owls. I love it.
Okay, I'm
The
back. So I wanted to say
Insomnia
is,
Club.
let me do this here. What I wanted to say is, this is important that people see that, that the timeline is switching. It's changing so rapidly. It's completely switching around. And what's happening is what we thought was going to be later is coming sooner, you know. And
Mm.
so what people need to really understand is this is really a center point of information. Shai even stated it when we talked to her a month or so ago, and even a number of you might have been on when I asked her about 2027. So the people within the DoD in the cosmic sector of it, they know something's going to be coming up in 2027. Now the timeline, I think, is shifting where that's why you're seeing more of these, what you call spaceships, UFOs, whatever you want to call it. I'm not talking about the reverse engineered stuff that the military and the Air Force has. I'm talking about the non-terrestrial galactic levels. So I think you're going to be seeing more of that. That's why people are posting videos. That's why people, even on my live here, have actually posted videos, told me to check out videos, and they're all having encounters with non-terrestrial craft that have beings inside the spaceships. They're all doing it. So it's really kind of important for people to understand that there is this whole dynamic going on here that we've never had before. There's been individual contacts since the 50s and 60s, giant rock historically in the deserts, in other countries individually, and those people wrote books about it. But now we're getting to see a lot more things happening. We have a lot more to look forward to. You know, there'll be people out there in the world that think nothing's going to happen, but they're going to be so wrong because for however reasons why there are people, and because we have billions of people on the planet, there's people that are just not awake to know that this is going to occur. But when you have 3 or 4 people, including Shy, who even stated, I'm going to get some updates from her when she comes on again regarding that. People really need to be focused and look at this thing as a very positive shift. There are people, of course, that are going to say, no, nothing's going to happen. But it is. There's no way around it. There's nothing to be afraid of. You can't hide in you can't hide in the bathroom or in the shower or under the ground. Face it. Breathe it. Get used to it. We're not used to having space people come to Earth in our physical reality right now, but they are coming. They are here. You've heard people on my show talk about their encounters, and they are having encounters. They're visiting people in their homes. You've heard the stories, you know? You've heard the stories. And if you
Right. And
don't accept
listen,
the
this
stories,
event,
that means you're
this
closed in
meditation,
what they call a box. Like you have a cardboard box. You've been in there for 100 years. You don't even know what's outside the box because it's taped up. If you take the tape off the box and open it up and you see things, you're going to do two things. Either you're going to be in wonderment and interested to find out more, or you're going to say, nah, that's got to be a dream. I'm going to close the box back up. I don't want to know anything. That's too bad, because you're missing opportunities to learn about our brothers and sisters, which do exactly exist within our
Guys,
multiverse, within our
I'm sorry,
universe,
you guys. I got to
everywhere.
jump out for a minute. I'll be back in a little bit.
Hey, okay,
Thanks,
man.
thanks for
We're
having
gonna.
me, guys.
Oh, you're welcome. We're gonna be on here for a few more minutes because we're on the East Coast. I'm loving this discussion and all the people participating, and we're gonna be on tomorrow night. And we might be tomorrow night. We're gonna definitely be on. We try to. So I want to. So we're not winding down yet, but in a few more minutes we will. And but people need to really get ready. I sit here listening because I'm enjoying hearing people's perspectives, and that's what the show's about. But I also have to give you my own information, which is that we are going to have to get ready for contact. It's not a matter of, it's not there's a choice whether you participate or not. That would be the way I would put it. But we really do have to get ready for contact, And when we do this worldwide meditation, which is focusing our light energy to Gaza and to Israel, what we're doing is taking this thing to a much higher level. And when you get as many people together with one consciousness or one energy, you can shake the ground, you can shake the earth, you can shake the foundation of consciousness. If anyone out there in the universe or on our planet doesn't believe that, you need to wake up. If you're
So,
skeptical that anything can happen, everything's going to happen.
right. So I want to add there's actually proof too of what you're saying. There has been multiple studies where they've gotten, X amount of number of people together and they got them all to focus on the same thing. So one in particular was in Chicago. Um, and they got the people to focus on just peace and just happiness. And for, I believe it was, and I could be wrong, and if somebody does look it up and I am wrong, hey, just let me know. But I believe it lasted or the meditation was for like 3 hours, but
Yeah.
the attributes of the meditation lasted for 3 days, and they actually saw the crime rate go down for 3 days. And
Yeah.
so that right there, that's proof. That's proof about what he's saying and that it's true. You
Yeah.
lift your
Yeah.
consciousness and
And
anything can happen.
and that's actually another episode, especially on missing links, just like that
Yeah,
that prayer. That's another. I don't know the exact season number on that one, but
Yeah.
yeah, it goes hand in hand with the brain and heart coherency and everything. He does a really
yeah,
good job, Dr. Greg Braden, explaining it. Cool.
yeah. I
Yeah.
like I have actually followed Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, and Joe Dispenza for quite some time, and I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest things I've ever done. The way that they explain things and they simplify it, they make it easy for the common Joe. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
if if you guys are if you want to know, I mean, Gaia's super cheap. It's a streaming network.
Hmm.
Go
Oh, yeah,
check it
Gaia.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Go
Gaia's a
check
good
it out.
channel.
It's worth it. I mean, I originally got Gaia, and this is honest to goodness, because of the yoga and stuff like that, because I have cerebral palsy, and so my
Oh,
muscles
wow.
get really, really tight sometimes. And so
Hmm.
the yoga helps a lot. Yoga and Pilates, things like that. The things that are not like super high impact, but they do a lot of the stretching. So that was originally why I got it. But I'll tell you, I don't regret it. I've renewed it for the last 3 years now,
Hmm.
and it's one of the best investments I've ever made.
I agree with
See?
that. That's actually my
Yeah.
favorite channel. It's when I first got into it, I thought there was going to be a lot of disinformation and like just a lot of weak stuff. Like I don't know if I can believe that, but it's actually a
Right.
lot of scientific backup stuff on a lot of these shows. And then David Wilcox is on there with
Yeah.
what that show is called
Oh,
Disclosure or Hidden something like that. I
cosmic
forgot the name.
disclosure. Cosmic
Yes,
disclosure.
that's it. That's
You
it.
know what?
Yes.
We should try to get everyone to get in touch with the Gaia Network. Keep the show on TikTok and see if they'll let the Encounter show go on Gaia
Oh,
as
Oh,
well.
that
Commander,
would
I
So
was
be
just
awesome.
thinking that.
you know, they seem to be an open place or network for this kind of stuff. Why don't we do it? You know what?
They
People,
are.
this is
Yeah.
everybody should contact Gaia about encounters, and everyone should just write letters to them on email telling them
Yeah.
about our show and let them know
Absolutely.
about
I
our
think it'd be
show.
great. Yeah. I mean, why
Can
not? What's
everybody
the
do
worst
that?
they could
Let's do it.
say
Let's
is
just
no.
experiment and see what happens.
I'll try
Oh
and
boy.
see if I can look up. I mean, it should be really easy to look up the contact information for them. So,
Yeah. It
yeah,
just popped
I
into
think
my
it would be
consciousness right
awesome.
now. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I want to share an idea with you too, Commander. It might be worthwhile to do one-on-one interviews with people, and record them of them retelling their experience, so you have it as like a hard copy, so that if Gaia did reach out, you could say, "Look, I have this and this and this from credible,
Well,
Yeah, they
sources."
can just go
well,
watch the YouTube channel.
they can just go on
Yeah,
his
but
YouTube
then
channel.
then
Yeah.
yeah, it would be edited down to something where they could digest it instead of a bigger, longer
Well, yeah.
format.
I mean, I
But
don't
yeah,
know how to edit my show to that point. Although on TikTok here, when I do record the shows, well, they're recorded, the TikTok takes segments of your show already, and it's already cut down certain segments you can look at. So it seems to be, the algorithm seems to know what it's doing. So
We
it
got to
picks out
get
areas.
Commander a tech manager.
I
I
know.
need a
I
tech manager.
I can
I'm
help you with all that.
I would love to help as well.
And I'm close
Okay.
by. I can definitely help you next time I see
Okay.
you.
That'd be
I was
great.
gonna say too, as far as doing like an interview show, Gaia does have a show like that. It's called Beyond Belief. Um,
Yes.
and so it may be hard to get another one only because they do have one.
They
But they
don't
don't
have
have
a
one like
they don't have a
this.
man from Mars.
No,
No,
that's
you're
one thing they
right,
don't
they
have.
don't, but
There's there's no doubts or
Beyond
buts in
belief
this
is a
thing.
little
The
dry.
man from Mars is coming on Gia.
there we go.
Yeah.
I'm not shy at all. I'm not shy at all about
Hey,
that.
you
So
never
yeah,
know, Commander. They needed
you know,
something new on that. They need a new
just
talk
like
show
Chesto said,
thing.
you know, when he tells his story, it's like if you don't put yourself out there, you never know what can happen. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. And there's a
Um,
show, I'm looking at it right now. There's a show on biohacking. Um,
that's a good idea.
has anybody seen that on the biohacking?
No, I'm just reading
I
Cat
don't
Mama's
think I've
thing.
seen the show, but I've seen different like YouTube videos about it.
Okay, because that was just what we were having all that chat earlier in the chat about the electromagnetic fields, and basically it's a biofield. So I'd be interested to see what this
Yeah.
has to offer.
Well,
I will
we
tell
have
you.
this. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, a lot of them with biohacking, it's more of, um, I mean, there are some that deal with the energetic field, but a lot of them, it's more of like the physical attributes. So like, extending your life and how to lengthen your telomeres and, just different things like that. What
Yeah.
Yeah,
vitamins to take or what have you. That's what a lot of the
like
biohacking is.
living
Yeah,
longer and things like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, it's David Asprey. Actually, I know David Asprey. He does a talk show too. He might be somebody to get in touch with too, Commander.
Who is he?
David Asprey
Yeah.
does interviews. He's on YouTube. You can find
Oh,
him.
yeah. So there's a woman that contacted me on email. There's some creator on YouTube that's like 25,000 subscribers, and she does short videos. And I have to get back to this person. They want to do an interview with me on YouTube on their channel.
That's
So we'll
awesome.
see what they. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know. There's people watching this that come in here and they're quiet. I have no idea who they are. There could be a producer in Hollywood watching us. I have no idea.
Absolutely. So, Commander, can you talk about our meditation and the time and dates,
Yes.
please?
Yes. So November 12th at 10 a.m., we're doing a global worldwide meditation. Not only that, tonight I got messages from Kedar Manka that I will tell you the exact number of spaceships. I'm gonna be sending a number of spaceships from the command in the higher atmosphere above Gaza and above Israel. And if people don't believe I can do this, I can. Whether you doubt me or not, doesn't matter to me. People that know me know that I don't care. I am fully operational. When I say operational, when I go into a different state of consciousness, which I will be doing on that day, that's going to be an Ashtar Command global broadcast. And my space brothers are going to be involved in this as well as all of the people here. What we're going to be doing is at 10 a.m. on the 12th of November, we're going to be very focused, and I'll be guiding and instructing everybody in what to do. James will be on here. Grace will be on here. All of you will be here. And we're going to be focused because of all the anger and all the things on TikTok with people who are Jewish or the Palestinian people. Some people are trying to have conversations to come together. Others are angry. What we're going to do is focus on that area, and we're going to focus mass consciousness of light energy over that area, and we're going to change the vibrational pattern that has gone there with all the people that have died, the children, the babies, the families. It has nothing to do with whether they're Israeli or not Israeli. It has to do with human understanding, human,
You,
earth-based beings, earth
you know,
people.
it comes down to
And
quantum
that's what,
mechanics, and it works. It absolutely works as a group. Like when you meditate and put those positive thoughts out there into the universe, it responds. Just like with
yeah,
that missing links episode where you were saying where what was it I forgot where you were saying nice things to somebody and it brightened their day, so it had an effect on like every other person,
Yeah, that
right?
right.
Was that
study.
the
That
missing links
study.
episode? Yeah, yeah. So when you put that kind of energy out there, it definitely responds. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
do
I
you,
so
do you, do you
collective
know that
consciousness, definitely.
if we put the energy out there, I know there's going to be people watching this. There might be even some major people in media hearing about this somehow between now and November the 12th. They're going to say, there's this guy on TikTok who claims to be from Mars who's going to work with the Ashtar Command. And with all these people, they're going to send collective energy of light to the affected area. And this guy from TikTok is going to send some spaceships over there from the Ashtar Command. So there are going to be people that are saying this is an extraordinary claim, but understand, I am who I am, who I am, who I am. What does that mean? I am everything and anything in the galactic level of light that I need to be. People have seen me operate in frequencies of healing with my palm of my hand as a conduit for the Christ. And people have felt the energy through the screen here. I can't make any of this up. Whatever I do, I'm real. Whatever I do without ego, and there's no ego, I am real. I reveal who I am depending on the group of people. Here, I reveal who I am with this particular group of people. So what's going to happen worldwide on the 12th is going to be something that has never happened or been attempted. And I'm not saying there are not other people wanting peace in the 3D world. There are those people in peace groups that want peace, but they might have flags and sit in
We're
peace and
going to be
meditate.
forming a worldwide link, guys. We're going to have
Yeah.
people with us from we're going to have people with us from Asia, people with us from the South Pacific, Australia, India. I've got somebody from Italy going to be on there. We've got Ireland represented, England represented. We've got all of these different countries around the world. Representatives are going to be with us in the live meditating, and we're gonna bring this thing worldwide.
Yeah, we are. We have another new guest here. It's Iskar. Let me make sure I got it right here. Yeah, I think it's Issachar. Ben Issachar?
Yeah, yeah, that's me. Thank
And
you
Ben,
for having me on. Appreciate it.
hey,
Welcome.
welcome. Glad to have you with us. Welcome to our show and also the big
Cool.
event on TikTok that's coming up on the 12th.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely gonna be there to check it out for myself. Thanks for the
Yeah, it's
invitation.
oh yeah, we want everyone to come. One of the things after we saw what started happening in the Middle East with the people killing each other, the attacks on the kibbutz, it wasn't about, well, they attacked our country versus their country. We come from a galactic perspective. I watched all the
Yeah,
arguments of people. I got kicked off of TikTok a thing the other day. I was experimenting to see if they'd let me speak about cosmic peace. The host of his TikTok, who was having these people talking all over each other, even when I started talking, they started talking over me. The next thing I know, I was
yeah,
booted out of the communications. I said, I guess that they don't want to hear something a little bit more about coming together as human beings. They don't want to hear that.
they don't.
So, but this event is going to be so big, and we want Palestinians. We want people from all over the world. We want people that are Jewish or whatever they are. We want to take the energy that's there of confrontation and switch it over to realizing that you need to start loving each other. And that's what our galactic energy focus is going to be on that day. We're going to shoot energy that way. I'm going to have Ashtar command ships way above the atmosphere to appear. They won't be seen. They might be even cloaked to protect them from radar coverage, but they will be there. I haven't seen how many yet, but I'll know that before the 12th. I'll tell people how many large ships will be there.
And Commander, I want to say something. I love exactly how you said it. You said without ego. And that's how you need to approach this, everybody, without ego. This isn't about me. It's not about you. It's about humanity. It's about
Yes.
everybody. It's about, even more than just this planet. Because
Yeah.
one thing that I know that I have channeled a couple of times, and I don't know exactly where this came from, but I feel it in all of me to be true, is that when you come, to it, and it's truly with love and there's no ego, then it's limitless. It's infinite. And there's
Mm,
nothing that you can't change when you come that way.
that's right.
There's so many people that say, oh, and I've done large meditations before, and a lot of the people, they come and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to do this because if I do a good deed, then it's going to come back to me. No, that's not what it's about.
No,
It's
no,
you
it's not at
do
all.
it with no expectation of getting anything in return.
Yeah, and it's
No,
not that we're necessarily like thinking this is gonna like stop the war or anything, but if you can just
right.
Right,
take the pressure off of them for like just a few minutes, just to give them a little
right.
break, like just quantumly. I mean, that anything helps, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like they say,
it's
even
really
if all they get
Cosmic
is a
shock to
breath.
the system.
Yeah, a breath or a heartbeat, it will make
So,
it will make
Commander,
a
yeah.
difference.
our guest, you didn't ask him where he's from and if he's got an
I'm
encounter
going to
story.
right now. Well, this car.
Oh,
Let's see. Let me go back to the name. Welcome again to the show. So I know you have something to share. So please join us.
yeah, definitely. Thank you. No, I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm currently living in the Yucatan Peninsula right now.
Oh,
And
interesting.
yeah, I got some videos on my TikTok where there's like well, I call them UFOs, right? Because they're unidentified flying objects, not necessarily like your discs or stuff like that, but
Right.
I have some videos that show like balls of light. Um,
Oh, interesting.
like they change. Yeah, I got usually when I'm outside, gardening and stuff around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, when the sun's going down, there's a lot of objects up there that are just, flying around underneath
Yeah.
the
Wow.
30,000. Yeah, underneath the 30,000 feet mark where all the airplanes go and stuff like that.
Wow.
So,
Interesting.
so also, guys, very interesting. Also, there was this one website back not too long ago. It was called googlesky.com,
Hmm.
and you have the opportunity of looking at all the stars and the constellations and the alignments and whatnot, right? And according to the website, it was like a live feed. So there was this part where if you scrolled over to Aquarius
Hmm.
and you scroll down to her feet, well, the website actually like black shadowed a piece of the sky
Hmm.
of the heavens. And yeah, and behind that black marker, it's kind of like secret documents where they get a black marker and you see like some words blacked out and some
Yeah,
words
they
not blacked.
redacted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what you're talking about when you're talking about cloak. Well, there's an object behind it. You can see some of it, and it's
Yeah.
fascinating because it has different colors: green, red, yellow. Um, and it blew me away, and for some reason it coincides with the astrological alignment of September 23rd,
Hmm.
2017.
Wow.
Yeah, where I don't know if you guys knew about that one, but according biblically speaking, right, it's considered as the great sign in Revelations 12:1 verse 2.
Huh.
And it describes it in full detail. Um, and I wanted to let you guys know about that information because uh, since I saw that object, I think it was back in 2012. Well, I've been pretty much waiting for its arrival, and pretty much that's what you're talking about. These
Yeah.
motherships that are coming, that are going to be cloaked. You can actually
Yeah.
see it right now in Google Sky. If you check
Yeah.
now,
They're coming.
let me tell you one more interesting part about it real quick. The only way that you're able to see this object on Google Sky is by infrared spectrum.
Yeah. That makes
Boom. That
sense.
yes. You can't see it with the naked eye, only through infrared spectrum. It's crazy.
Either
Wow.
infrared spectrum and also third generation night vision equipment.
Yes. And you know what? That observatory over there in Arizona, I think it's called Lucifer. They're actually using that infrared spectrum telescope to watch this object that's in route to the Earth.
Yeah,
Wow.
that,
It's Lowell's. It's not Lucifer. It's Lowell's observatory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, owned by
Yeah.
the Vatican. On
I don't know if
on
it's owned by the Vatican, but it's the only observatory we have is Lowell's Observatory.
well, it's on top of a hill or a mountain
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
like holy
Yeah.
ground for the indigenous people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so
Interesting.
that's
Well,
interesting also.
it's coming up to, I'd love to stay on here all night, but I can't do that. It's almost 1:30. We've been on since 11 o'clock in the evening. And Saturday morning, nighttime here on the East. So we will be on tomorrow night. And I want people to have final words here. I want to also, everyone, please, before you do anything, Grace, let's see where Grace is. We want to get her up to another 100. Grace now is at a 914. So if we can get another 85 people to follow Grace, we have 109 here. Follow Skip to Grace right now so she can have the ability to use her camera. Let's do that right now before we close this night out. I want all 108 people follow Skip to Grace right now, and I'm going to check on her in just about another 5 minutes to see if she's near 1,000. And then we're going to celebrate the end of the show for tonight with Grace being able to come on with a camera. So we're going to do that. I know we can
whoa,
do it. We're going to have Grace
that's a
on camera. We have
lofty ask
110
there,
people on here.
Commander.
We do, we got you on, and we're going to get Grace on here. We have
I gotta make
916
sure I get my
followers.
hair done, Commander.
Yes, he's got 916. So we have 107. Do the math. Everybody who is not following Skip the Grace, press the button on the follow button for her. Everybody follow right now. As we continue talking, we'll go back to her in another, maybe another 5 or minutes, and then we'll sign out for the end of the show
Everybody
for tonight.
follow everybody.
Yeah, everybody
Hey,
follow
thank
everybody.
you so much, everybody. Hey, all we need is love.
That's
That's
right.
right.
We're 900. She has
All we need is
917.
love.
We need to amp it up. We can't
Love.
go one like trickles of ones here. Let's get everybody following Grace who's not following her. We have 917
Love is
followers.
all you
We're so
need.
close. We're so close to getting up to 1,000. Between tonight and tomorrow, we're going to do it one way or the other. No
Yep.
That's right.
questions. And again, very
Meditate
importantly,
on that.
I
Yep.
want
Go
everyone to
ahead.
have
Go ahead.
I want everyone to have their final comments. Let's start with Rachel. We'll get Rachel coming in here, and then I'll work to
Hey,
the next person. Hey, Rachel, how you doing?
pretty good. A little tired.
Yeah, a little tired. I know it's been a long night.
You said the
So
same
let's see
thing last time.
Yes, we did
What?
speak to her.
No, I didn't.
You didn't say that before?
No.
You didn't come on and say, I'm good, a little tired?
I don't
Maybe
remember
she
saying
didn't
I was
say
tired.
Wow, I have some deja vu then.
that.
Rachel, come on. You're probably the youngest one in the
Like glitch in
chat.
the matrix.
No. I'm 44.
I'm
See,
not
you're doing good.
talking.
James
You're doing good.
list, I think.
Well, when you're a
And,
star person, when you're a star family, you're young. Your physical body looks much younger than it. We're just going to be young forever, forever young.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of
I
people think I'm like
wanna
um,
35,
be
36.
forever young.
Da da
someone's
da
asking
da
a
da da.
question.
Da.
One of the people in the
Oh,
audience says, who is the beings with the pyramid style ships? Does anyone want to take a,
Those are the ones that came that Shai said it was the first time they've ever been here. So we really don't know who they are.
yeah,
Wow.
I've
And
seen videos.
remember in Star Trek also the pyramid UFOs were like replicators,
Yeah.
like
Oh
androids.
yeah.
Yo,
And
That was a
there's
good
Yeah.
truth
episode.
in that show. There's such truth in that show. It's amazing.
most of those shows are probably like unclassified documents from the CIA.
Yeah.
Yeah. We show
Right.
The-
a lot of real stuff, and they hide it in movies and shows. You know?
That's weird. Glacier have
Definitely.
910 followers. So she has 910 followers. She
Oh
needs
wait, hey
another.
Kasumi, stop, Kasumi, you are here. Kasumi is my friend. She speaks Japanese. She's in the chat.
Kasumi, welcome.
Welcome, Kasumi. Where is
Can
she?
you bring her on so we can ask her so nicely if she can translate for us?
Okay, where do you
There you
see her?
go.
I'm not seeing her. Let me get in here. Wait a minute.
Kasumi, as soon as I saw her pop in here, I had to say
Kasumi.
something.
Kasumi. I see Hiroko.
I don't see
Oh,
Kasumi.
She was in here for a quick moment. I saw it too.
oh, hold on. Let
You
me
spook.
share it to her again.
How is it go? I'm trying to think of the little bit of Japanese I know. Is she from Japan?
Actually, well, Kasumi is American, but she teaches Japanese and she's in Japan. No, I didn't scare her. She's my friend. Stop.
Here, dude.
Well,
Just
maybe
playing,
we
dude.
can get
Yeah.
Kasumi on tomorrow night.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you know the
You know,
time difference and all that. So I was so excited.
you got me excited. I was looking for her. I couldn't find her.
Veronica's new in the chat, everybody. Hi,
Hey,
Veronica.
Veronica. Hey,
Hey,
Hi.
there's
Veronica.
Veronica. Hello, Veronica. Hi, everyone. Viewing for the Veronica. We're glad to have you with us.
Oh,
We're gonna
wow!
Veronica.
Look at all these people
Veronica. We'd
joining
like to
all of a
follow
sudden.
you.
What is going on?
Cat
Veronica.
Mama. You're probably a starseed. Definitely Cat Mama. What do you think, Commander Cat Mama? Is she starseed?
I think she is. And Veronica, turn your private to public so I can follow you. I want to follow you and follow me back. So you have a little thing on your thing with TikTok where you can switch it from private to public. So I want to follow you. So I press your thing there.
Scotland,
I'm not able
hello.
to follow you yet.
We got to get Veronica in on the worldwide meditation.
Yeah, Veronica, I'm going to let you skip to Grace or Rabbit or share about that with her. Okay, I'll try. So Veronica, Veronica, we're doing a worldwide global galactic meditation on TikTok, November 12th at 10 a.m. No problem. She'll be right back. And what we want to do is have you join us. We're reaching out to everybody on TikTok, no matter who they are.
Across the world.
Yep.
Hey guys, did you guys hear from a show of yeses? How many people here were born from like 1977 to like 1992?
I
Because
was.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, the
85.
thing is, there's a spiritual awakening going on right now, like on the internet, TikTok and
Yeah.
stuff. What they're saying is the people that were born like basically in the 80s or the late 70s, early 90s,
Yeah.
um, they're actually like old souls
Yeah.
where they
Too.
came back at that certain time for these times now, like in 2023 to 2030, and
Mm.
supposedly they're the ones going to be responsible for like saving the world through peace and love and something like
Yes.
that. You guys hear
I
about that?
heard that
Oh,
too.
Hell
God. Thank you,
yeah.
Susan.
Oh,
Oh,
Susan with the
man. Thank you.
galaxy.
Wow.
Dropping a galaxy on a commander like that. Okay.
Thank you, Kit Kat.
Wow.
Thank you for all the things there, the earths. I love that. You people are beautiful, man. And I think Veronica, I'm going to try to find her here. Where is she? She came back on. Here she is. I'm actually
So you know
inviting
this,
her.
this project you guys were talking about, it's destiny, manifestation.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so. I listen, our goal is to this is just the start. This meditation is just the start. We're going to
Yeah,
take
it's
this
like,
Yes, sir.
meditation straight. Well, for us in America, we're going to take it straight to Washington. But everybody
yep,
else in your country, in your area, you got to take it to your government too, because none of
yep,
our
Yeah.
governments are serving us, and we can live as a tribe of peace and love without crazy people with an army that they could direct. Get rid of the
right.
armies and build more libraries.
Yeah.
And you
If
know what?
everyone does their part.
One of the things of this meditation, this is the first of many things galactic we're going to do, the Ashtar Command off planet's overseeing everything we're doing right now. They're actually participating off planet. And the beautiful part of that is that they will facilitate things and they'll send information even to James or Skip to Grace, or whatever. But I will always get direct beamed in information. I call it in my consciousness. If I get any changes of information for everybody here, I will share it with everybody because everyone's going to know updates before the 12th, after the 12th. But this is not just the first thing that we're doing. This thing with the war that happened with people being killed facilitated for us to have to do something from a galactic, cosmic, spiritual level, something that is not being done. There's just
Well,
too much.
like he was just saying, Commander, this is destiny. This is it. This is it. We've got this one life to live. We've got one chance to change the timeline. We've got it. We've got strong people in here who are willing to speak up, not just on TikTok, but in public, in person, and to really be leaders within their communities and make a change. And
Yeah.
this is where it starts, guys. This is only the beginning. This is
Yeah. And
just
the thing
the
is,
grassroots motion to get the vibration chain linked across the world. After
and
that, we're,
yeah.
we're we're coming after our freedom.
And you know what? The Ashtar Command tells us they're not here to save us. When I say Ashtar Command, that's the galactic levels of many planetary worlds. What we are here to do is we are the ground crew. We are the space people in human form. Those here that are awakened, you are the space people in human form. Do you realize that? That means that you have to own it, feel it, be it. Instead of saying, well, I don't know if I'm connected with some other people. You're all connected with some other people, with some other planet, with other star systems. You just have to be confident and realize it and believe in yourself. Because on this planet, you were taught in school not to believe anything other than what you were told in school. But now you're not in school anymore. Now you're on encounters. And now you're here with people that are like myself from another planet and a person that has no ego whatsoever. I'm here to bust the matrix. And that means what we're doing here is we're going to bust the matrix of conflict, of hate, of war. We're going to bust that right up because there's no room on the planet Earth for people to be hurting each other, killing each other. There's no reason for it. And there's no reason for ships to be sent over to a country to put more weapons into the hands of people and shoot those weapons off to kill people.
And there's no reason for homelessness, and there's no reason for suffering, and there's no reason for disparity. We are all equal. Our work, our lives, our souls are all equal.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the blood of a human being on Earth, believe it or not, people, your blood is all equal. So if you cut somebody's arm open, you think their blood is purple, blue, or green? It's all the same. So what we're saying is, for
That's right.
Earth-based humans, understand you're killing each other for no reason over pieces
Yeah.
of land. And when you think about ownership of land, nobody owns anything. It's an illusion. You pay $500,000
Totally
for a
agree.
home for what? You know,
I
your whole
totally
system of
agree.
life is going to switch. And when that switches on, the new Earth is going to be a planet where there's no ownership of anything. There's going to be a unity of understanding where people live in harmony, just like they do in the galactic levels of light on other planetary worlds. It's so important now that people understand what we're doing here is the beginning of transformation of the Earth. This is the beginning of it right here, focusing on where there's conflict and sending spaceships over there. I will be very much in a very different frequency that day. I'm going to be in a whole, you're going to see me in a completely, you think I'm amped up now in a frequency. Wait till November 12th to see what you see out of me. You're going to see things.
Oh,
You're going to see energy coming from my body. You're going to see a certain frequency that's going to be at such a high level to do this. It has to be. I have to be at the highest level of this thing that day. And I will be. I am ready. 100% ready.
Chenzo, what were you going to say, bud?
Yeah, I think if everyone took the time to just realize that we're all one, like there's just one central like consciousness, and we're all just fractals of that. You know, like I'm you, you're me, like we're like the same people. It just makes no sense to me. Like war just makes zero sense to
You
me.
just said the same thing I was thinking, Chenzo. I feel like, law of one, right? Law of one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, come
This is it,
on.
guys. We're starting already. You're already feeling it. You're already feeling pumped up. People in the chat, they are feeling the vibrational pattern shifting right now. And we're not even to the meditation. By the time
That's
we
right.
get to the meditation, we're going to be like, pow, right up
That's
in
right.
there.
Got to bust
And
through
you,
the matrix.
and you know what? I have a feeling some media people from the networks are going to probably come in with the ability to disguise themselves. They're going to watch and see what we're doing. I have no question. I've been getting the feeling. I don't know which media it's going to be, what worldwide media. I don't know if it's BBC, whoever it is, but I guarantee you this word is going to be spreading all over the place.
I love the way you think, Commander. I think it's great.
So
You
I
got to
love
think
put
what
it
I'm
out
thinking.
there.
I love how we're all on the same frequency here, you know? It's
Yeah,
just
we
it's
are.
like knowledge to us. Like, you know, like we're just not we just we're different in a good way.
We're
I
different.
agree
In
Yeah,
a
with
we're
good way. Yeah,
you.
we
different.
are. In a good way. You're right.
Do you all
So speaking of,
feel, do you all walk around and like wonder why people are staring at you?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
all the time.
yes,
Like,
all
like
the time.
seriously,
Seed is
I am like, what is going
I
on?
get
Why
headaches
are
from
people
that.
staring at me like my head is green? Like, what is going on?
mm,
I think they sense. I think
I love
people
it.
really do sense other. You know, even in public, you sense people's auras,
Yeah.
and you know, I I'm always on the road. I'm always on the go. I'm always traveling, and I always have good interactions with people. I
Hmm.
never have bad interactions, and I'm so thankful to source for that because that's
Hmm.
been my blessing that when I walk out into public I naturally always have a smile on my face,
yeah,
and that is
Yes.
very welcoming to people.
mhm.
And that's I always say a smile is the gateway to the soul, because when you walk around and you see somebody that doesn't smile, or even if you crack a joke and they don't smile, you're like, oh gosh,
Absolutely. Wayne
you're
but you
Dyer
know
not.
what?
used to say that was like giving people a gift when you give people a smile.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you crack a joke, remember you have to glue it back together.
that's
Just
right.
Oh, this guy.
Ba, ba, ba,
Got the
bum.
bad jokes.
That's good.
Oh, we got Commander
I have a
Dice
quick
Clay
sense
in
of
the house
sense.
today. Oh,
Have you guys I think really we're more telepathic than we realize. Have you guys ever been in your car and you can like sense a car's going to move into the lane before he moves into the lane, just from like
Yeah,
Oh
from
yeah.
how he's driving?
Oh, definitely.
Like
Definitely.
like like I was a salesman and I could read people's like physiology. So
Oh,
it
no
makes you
doubt.
So
That's
wonder
been
how
a
much
problem of
more
mine
of
in
it
my
is
whole life.
telepathic.
yeah.
Riley, I'm going to tell you what. You were probably a really good salesman too, weren't you?
I actually was. I got a
You
ring.
you got Riley's got that voice and that look and that vibe that
He
he could
does.
sell ice to an Eskimo.
I think
I
the
can see
people who are
Riley at a cosmic
telepathic
car
genuinely can
dealership.
sell pretty well.
I can see
yeah,
Riley at
I
a
agree with
cosmic
that.
car dealership in the commercial saying, "Come on down here to Cosmic Cars, and I've got buy one get one half price. And if you come here, I'll give you one of my personal guitars with an autographed signature right now. Come on down."
And an ancient
Well, that's good to
artifact.
know. That's good to know, because when we start selling Commander's book, we can have Riley be our spokesman.
He could be our pitch guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And an amulet with every book.
There
I
you
sold
go.
I
You know,
sold herpes
Julie
vaccines for
Trance, I'm
5 years.
following you, Julie. Welcome to the show, Julie Trance Grammy. I don't know why I wasn't following you, but I am following you now.
Jedi just sent a rose.
Thank you for the rose. You know what, folks? It is almost
Ooh,
2 in the
smells good.
morning.
Thanks for the rose.
I got everyone sleeping now, and I'm the only one awake. So I want to have everyone have last words here. Also, before we do this, I got to check again with Skip to Grace on Encounters and see where she is.
My phone, no.
Now, I don't know what it is, but she has 910 followers. We need to get her up to another 90 people. We have 99 people in here. So if there's 98 people in here that can go to Skip to Grace's
Commander, I
profile,
think they're
please
all
press your
following her.
button and follow right now. I want everyone to follow right now before
I
anything else.
know. I got to do a viral video. I got to dance.
Yeah. So
I got to do a
let me see what's
viral
happening
video.
here. So I'm going to press the button. In 5 more minutes, I'm signing out of here. So I want
Great.
to give everybody their last say. I will go to JM first, and then we'll go to Chesno, Skip to Grace, and then to my co-host.
Okay, so what I just want to put out there for everybody is, you know, what you put out there, you get back. That's plain and simple. And why not? Why not be kind? You know, if you can be anything, be kind, be happy. Things could always be worse, you know? And at the end of the day, you know, sitting here and worrying about work or what this one said or that or whatever, it's just not worth it. It's not. So walk in grace, walk in light. You don't have to be perfect because trust me, I'm certainly not. But just give it a good go, and the things you will see out of it will be phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give it the old
And
college try.
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll go to, who did I say next? Was it Chesno? Yeah. Hey, Chesno, you go next,
Yeah,
my man.
thanks. I just want to thank you for having me on, and I love the work that you do, and I'm looking forward to this group meditation on November 12th, and hoping we can make a little bit of a difference. And I'm open to coming on anytime.
Yeah, Chenzo, you better come on every night.
I could. I
You're
just
in the
never.
damn chat.
I'm just always listening, and I'm kind of just like hanging out. But
Yeah, I'm like, come on,
You're a
Chesno,
wealth
come
of
on,
knowledge.
Chesno.
Listen
Every
to
night I
you.
tell them, come on
I totally
on.
will, and I will more. And thank you guys for being like real cool about it. You guys are like really
Hey,
You're
we
a
got to
sensitive.
do
wealth
our
of, yeah, man.
CE5.
Just
We got to get our
everything.
C5 going.
Yes, Commander. We got one more before the snow comes. CE5.
Well, let's hope we have no snow. We'll still do it in the winter.
Yes.
We'll do
Well,
that. Let's pray
you
for.
guys are going to
So
have
we
a
need to do
snowy
it,
snow
and we
year
would
this
be doing
year.
more C5s
That's
this
what
year,
I've
but the
heard.
weather in New England has been just rain every weekend. It's just been almost impossible. But we know that there's going to be some clear skies coming our way, so we'll do it. So, Chezo, thanks for being here. JM, thank you for your final words. Rachel, any final
Of
words you
course.
want to give us?
Rachel.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about. I had a vision of like a fireball, like an
Oh,
asteroid, I
wow.
guess.
You did?
Um,
Nice.
yeah, I just got home from work and I stepped out of my car and I just looked up at the sky and I just seen like this big fireball and I just don't know what to think of it.
Wow. Now I'm going to have to meditate on that. I
Yeah,
Yeah.
think
so I don't know if you can
we're
help me
going to
with
have to
that.
talk about that. We're going to have to talk about that tomorrow night on the show. And I'll focus on that. I want you to come on tomorrow night, and you'll be the first guest. I'll talk about the fireball. I'll let you get more detailed into it. Tell us what it was looking like, and I'll try to meditate to. Well, what do you think it was?
No, you're going to go down the
I
rabbit hole and then you'll be here till
I
4 in the
I
morning.
kind of thought maybe
Meditate on it. Meditate on it.
Yeah, meditate on
Definitely.
it.
yeah,
I'm going to meditate on it.
I just seen it as being maybe a sign that maybe there's going to be a big asteroid hitting us, but I don't know.
No,
Ooh.
no, no, no,
I don't
no.
want to say that. I know. I don't want to say that.
You saw, that was the
We'll do.
fire of the
We're
revolution
Were
gonna.
you
coming.
watching Star Trek?
We're
No,
gonna.
That's
I'm
the
more of
first
a Star
episode of the
Wars.
Star Trek. In
No,
the
we're gonna.
new
We're
Star
gonna.
Trek.
I will focus on that tomorrow night when I'm more conscious. I'm becoming unconscious. So, yeah, I think that's an important thing, their story. Let's get into it tomorrow night. And I'll be able to really focus on it. That's interesting. There's not going to be anything hitting the earth. That I can tell you. But I will focus on that when I have my consciousness in a different place to do that, the right
Thank
way.
you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Hey, take care, Rachel. And let's see.
Everyone have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Hey, Grace, we'll let you go, and then my co-host, and we'll be on tomorrow night.
Hey, so anyway, thank you for another really awesome show tonight. Chesno, thanks for coming on and, finally sharing. And I'm just really stoked about the worldwide meditation on November 12th. And let's continue to just keep spreading the word.
Yeah. And everybody spread the word. Everybody in here, there's 92 people. Spread the word. We're going to have a new promotional video that you think this video was good that you've seen with the pyramids. Wait till you see over this weekend the new video. And we're going to be FYPing it everywhere. We want everyone to FYP it everywhere where all your connections all over the world. This is going to be a major event with the Ashtar Command sponsoring it. And we're just the ground crew people putting it together. So yeah, this is going to be very, very important. So it's really important everybody participate, get involved, share, be the people that you are, be the light workers you are, be the awakened souls that you are, and make sure that every single person you come in contact with in any Tic Tac discussion, let them know about this. Get their consciousness, whether they're a group talking about cooking hamburgers, or whether they're a group talking about putting together toys or whatever it is. Shift their consciousness and let them know we're doing this. We need to reach the whole world. November 12th. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. November
November
12th. Let's
12th,
see.
November 12th,
10
10 to,
a.m.,
and
5
what are
And
the
Kathy,
p.m.,
times?
and a
I'm gonna.
possible late night show.
And Kathy, I'm following you now as host of the show. So everybody follow everybody. And I just started
And
following.
and Rabbit, the times of the
I said the times will be 10 a.m. And 5 p.m. Eastern. And
10,
I'm
5.
thinking,
Thank
I'm
you, Jedi.
thinking we're going to end up doing a nighttime gathering edition, a post show to discuss everybody's enlightened feelings that they got that day, because I am telling you now that you are going to feel something amazing. You're going to
Yeah.
you're going to be part of something that we haven't had done in a long time in this world. And it's about
Yeah.
time for us to grab our destiny, to take it in our hands, and to really show the world that there's a better way to live. There's a way of love and light and understanding and acceptance, and we can get there together. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish my monologue off with a quote from one of our greatest orators of our current government administration, Kamala Harris. The future is today, and today is yesterday, and tomorrow's future is yesterday's in our hands. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Have a good night. And we'll
Good
see you tomorrow
night.
night. Another edition of Encounters. Rachel, everybody in the room, thank you for being here.
That
Everybody
was a
watching the
joke.
show. And also down the rabbit hole, James, my co-host. Thanks for being here. Everybody, Chesno, come on here more often now because, you can.
Yes, please come every night you can.
For sure.
Unless
Thank
you're eating dinner or,
You're
watching,
our brother.
meditating,
You're
whatever,
our brother.
And
be a pleasure.
everybody else, Almighty, have a good night. Everybody out there watching, we love you all. Everybody have a good night. We're getting out of here. We're going to go to
Good night,
sleep.
star family.
We'll see you
Mwah.
tomorrow night.